This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, yo, man. Happy Wednesday. May the 10th be with you. The Monty Show, presented by our good friends, as always, at The Advocates, theadvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. And what I love about The Advocates is they care about their communities, and that's why they don't ask you to pay them up front. You do not pay The Advocates until they win your case. No retainers, no consultation fees, none of that nonsense, just the best legal representation in the business. You got hurt at work? Yes, they do workman's comp. Let's go. Hook it up. Free chat online with an attorney. 24/7 theadvocates.com. Jake, halfway home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wednesday, and I am so excited for the non-sports stories of the day. A brand new presidential candidate to talk about, and one of the best items ever at Costco is coming back.
Yes.
I am
it's
super
a good day
stoked.
to be a Costco member.
I am super stoked. And by the way, if you do not know what this is a picture of, you just have not lived your life yet. You haven't lived your life yet. Look at that place. It's amazing.
Yeah.
We have all that coming up on the show for you today. By the way, big shout out to Meat Rocket, who again is the first one in today.
Yeah.
Meat Rocket 304. If you're not first, you're last. That's according to George Kliavkoff.
That's right.
To which Tanner Plummer, the resident a-hole of the Monty Show, says if you're not last, you're first, according to your mom.
According to your mom.
Okay. C. Kaufman, what's up? Trump.
You ain't first, you're last.
That's right. Truck Stop Gumby. If everyone's first, nobody's last. That's kind of what I'm saying.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's what I'm saying. Curtis says Amazon is supposedly out on the Pac-12. It just keeps getting worse for them. Well, if you had listened to the Monty Show at all in the last 5 shows, you, of course, too, would be up on the knowledge that Amazon Prime Sports is no longer bidding for Pac-12 content. And I guess that's where we will begin as the Pac-12 turns. That's right. We reported exclusively on the show, I believe, Friday 1st. Amazon Prime Sports is out for Pac-12 content altogether. They had been discussing a deal with the Pac-12 for a Friday night game that we reported exclusively first right here on the Monty Show. We told you that was the case, that they were not all in on the Pac-12. They were not looking for the entire package. They were simply looking for shoulder programming to go with their NFL Thursday night package. They would have liked to tag that with a Friday Pac-12 game. But, of course, the issue always comes down to what game is that going to be? Is that going to be the best game of the week? Well, as we've told you repeatedly and for months now right here on the Monty Show, most Pac-12 presidents are not in favor of streaming their very best game, otherwise known as their Tier 1 content, on stream only. They do not want to do that. They want their best game on linear TV, to which that means what? Well, that Amazon on a Friday night is going to get a pretty crappy matchup. They're already dealing with that in the NFL. They did not want to do that with the Pac-12. Sources have told me that was one of the major sticking points, as well as the price tag from the Pac-12. And yes, Amazon is out, according to our sources, on Pac-12 content at the moment. But it really starts this larger conversation about the Pac-12 running out of options. We told you on March 11th that NBC Universal had come to the table and had begun talking to the Pac-12 about a distribution partnership that would include USA Network as the primary carrier. That really has gone nowhere, unfortunately, for the Pac-12. We've not really heard substantial steps forward in those conversations. And obviously, when you're NBC Universal, you already have a substantial stake in the Big Ten. You have Big Ten After Dark coming on Saturday nights to NBC. which we would all presume is going to be USC and UCLA. So really the show today is all about where does the Pac-12 go? And I think one of the major updates that we are getting is ESPN. Our sources in television very close to ESPN tell us that ESPN is out on tier 1, but that does not mean that ESPN is not interested in carrying Pac-12 athletics. And certainly that does not mean that a deal with ESPN will not be done. We have reported for months now on this show that ESPN has really taken and held a hard line with the Pac-12 at $90 million a year, period. And they're not looking for 3-4 games a week. They're looking for a game on television and a game on ESPN+. That's really where ESPN is at this point. But Jake, if you look at the landscape in the TV world, there's not a whole lot of options right now for the Pac-12.
Yeah, and I think that they've burned through a ton of these options. I think this ESPN thing, was just sort of a Sparker type story, like, oh, ESPN is out on the Pac-12, like trying to send the message that somehow ESPN is, not interested in the Pac-12, and obviously that's just not the case. They just don't want to pay for tier 1. So when you start looking at the other options that the Pac-12 has gone through, you look at CW, you look at Amazon, you look at Ion, you look at YouTube TV at one time, you look at NBC, like you just go down this laundry list of options, and it just seems like the Pac-12 has been around the block like 50 times trying to figure out who they want to partner with and who they want to put a deal together with. And I'm a big believer that, hey, you want to talk to everybody possible, and you want to get your product to in front of everybody and see what their opinion is. But ultimately, like you're taking too long to do this now. And I think that the struggle is that every day that goes by, it's just yet another day that you don't have to get the deal done. And it's becoming, even for us on our show, it's becoming tiring having to talk about this every single day. And what I'm really concerned about is that when this TV deal inevitably gets announced, because it will get announced at some point, I have to believe, that's going to be a bad day for the Pac-12 when it really should be a good day for the Pac-12 if you think about it. Like, anytime a conference announces a new distribution deal, typically that's a really positive thing. Usually you're growing. Usually, you rolled out, like the NFL schedule is a good example. We're going to talk about that later in the program. Like, anytime you announce a new schedule, a new distribution, a new this, a new that, like, you look at this and you say, man, like, this would be a really positive thing. Yet somehow for the Pac-12, this has turned into a negative thing, because we know when this deal gets announced, you're probably going to lose some schools because the revenue's not going to be there. And that's what's really unfortunate.
Usually we wait for comments.
Right.
But when one is this good, when one is this strong, there simply is no way to wait to say, dude, I know the Pac is running out of options, but
Victor's the way.
Victor's the way.
Victor's the way.
The great new sensation sweeping the United States.
Oh, my
Big
God.
Daddy Magic, the Victor Wembanyama evangelist.
Dude, I love it so much.
Thank you, Keaton Critchlow. We appreciate that. Good to see you. Listen, I think one of the other things that we need to address is the value of the Pac-12. I think one of the things that is being, bandied about significantly in truck stop country is that the Pac-12 is worthless. I think one of the other things that you need to consider, and I had a great conversation about this with a TV source yesterday, is that the value of the Pac-12 is not at some all-time low. The problem for the Pac-12 is their arrogance led to really poor decision-making, and timing got the best of them. The value of the Pac-12 has not changed. The money of their distribution partners simply has been allocated in other places. And as the old saying goes, you're only as valuable as what somebody's willing to pay for you.
Right.
So your football product is worth what somebody's willing to pay. And right now, our sources in TV tell us ESPN's willing to pay $90 million.
Right.
But let's not sit here and make this out like the Pac-12 is some, POS worthless conference, because nothing could be further from the truth. I think the Pac-12 is still valuable. Now, is it as valuable as it was when USC and UCLA were in the conference? No, clearly it is not. You're losing two of your marquee names in your largest market, and there's no way to recover from that.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that the Pac-12 is worthless. And I think it's easy to make the jokes about, hey, everything's worthless and they suck. And I mean, listen, if that gets you through the day, if that's your cup of coffee today, knock yourself out. But what I'm telling you is the Pac-12 is not worthless. The Pac-12 is a victim of circumstance and their arrogance. That's as plainly as I can say it. Because if they had gotten to market earlier, and if they had not, and what's the way to say it, talk themselves into believing that they were worth far more than they are worth, because I believe that's what happened. I think George Kliavkoff had the exact same deal that the Big 12 has right now, and he chose to believe that $400 million and $450 million, and we're getting $50 million. Oh, you're right, we're getting $60 million. Do I hear 70?
Right.
Like, that's what happened to George Kliavkoff, is that he drank the Pac-12 Kool-Aid.
Absolutely.
Instead of doing the pragmatic, smart, important step of securing your future. And I also think that you just got run circles around by Brett Yormark. It's as plain and simply as I can say it, because what George Kliavkoff has never realized, and I think this is very much to the detriment of the Pac-12, is that your TV rights deal, your media distribution deal, is not the only source of income. It is a source of income.
Right.
And what the Pac-12 did really well was they said, okay, we're going to go to market early and we're going to try to get a deal in this exclusive window. And they just overvalued themselves. They were never even in a legitimate conversation close to a deal in that exclusive window.
Yeah.
And now you're nowhere further. You are in the exact same place you were about a year ago. And it's absolutely crippling, because what Brett Yormark did is listen to his TV partners. Because with all due respect to Brett, and I think Brett will admit this, it wasn't Brett's idea to come to market early. It was not. It was ESPN and Fox's nudging and pushing, from what our sources told us, that got the Big 12 to market early.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the thing that Brett Yormark did is he listened to his TV partners. He listened to his membership. And they were all in lockstep, and they have been since. And I think the most difficult thing if you're the Pac-12 is you just got over your skis. Your ego wouldn't let you out of your own trap room, right?
Right.
And I think that's why they're so crippled. But let's not get this twisted. Even if you lose 2 members, let's say, I think 4 is absolutely devastating. But if you just lose 2 members, let's say you lose the Arizona schools, I think the Pac-12 is going to find a way to sustain itself. I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know how they do that financially.
Oh, what a loser.
But I think they're going to sustain themselves. And again, I just go back to what Brett Yormark has done. And if you are the Pac-12, you have to copy that. It is a blueprint, as Jake called it yesterday, for success and surviving. That's what it is. Because the word that applies to the Pac-12 right now is existential. It quite literally is fighting for its existence. If it does not land a media deal of $25 million or higher, if you come in below $25 million, I think you're going to lose 4 schools, and I think the conference is going to fall in on itself.
Pack your shit. Let's go.
I don't see any other way that it survives.
Right.
If you lose 4 schools, and if those 4 schools, are the Arizona schools, Colorado and Oregon State, and then Gonzaga and San Diego State wind up going to the Big 12, I just don't see any way possible, Jake, that the Pac-12 can exist.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of people who have pondered about, okay, if that scenario happens where you lose those schools and, San Diego State and Gonzaga go to the Big 12, what does the PAC look like at that point? I mean, we can all make these jokes about PAC 6 or PAC 10 or whatever number you want to put behind it, but ultimately, the PAC is a conference that to me, I'm not even saying they're better than any other conference, even though I think in some areas they are. What I'm saying is that the West Coast of our country is incredibly valuable, and I think that it's really a shame that the conference that occupies that geography in our country is struggling to this level, because the fact is it is fun to have, USC playing whoever in Southern California, right? Like, it is fun to have these really cool locations with high caliber football and everyone can get in on it. And it's like, yeah, dude, like, that's awesome. But ultimately, you're starting to lose those high caliber areas. And that's the only reason San Diego State has any relevancy. So to me, I don't know what the PAC looks like. I do know that they're going to fight their ass off to survive. And I do know that, the Big 12 at one time, what were they down to? 6 or 7 teams or whatever it was. And then they've come back from the dead or whatever. Like, it's not unheard of that these conferences get chopped down and then have to regrow in a sense. But I just don't think that people are confident in, and I'm certainly not confident in, the Pac-12's ability to regrow, because if they had any kind of business sense or ability, we wouldn't even be here right now. And I think that's the point you can't get away from. Like, you do have a blueprint for how to make money. It is obvious that your TV deal is only one stream of revenue. It is obvious that you should have all these other events and you should be making all kinds of money outside of a distribution deal you don't have yet. Like money, honest to God, for the Pac-12, money should be like the least of their problems.
Yeah.
Yet they don't know how to make money, so money is their number one concern.
Yeah, and I again just go back to the value in this conference. And I think the value in the Pac-12 very clearly is the larger brands. And right now, those large brands are Oregon and Washington, Stanford and Cal. Those are your 4 large brands. I think from a football perspective, obviously you're talking about Oregon, you're talking about Utah very clearly. I think when I look at distribution, if I had to guess at the end of the day, I have no idea who the streaming partner is going to be, because we've heard all the way along about this, that Apple, who has been remarkably tight-lipped, that Apple wants the entire deal or no deal. And that's just a non-starter for the Pac-12. I mean, we've heard this repeatedly for a long time that there are not precedents in this league to support a grant of rights with Apple TV. Like, you look at Arizona State, Washington, and Colorado, they've all said no to Apple TV as a sole distribution partner. Because I think, again, and I'm just stating fact, you're looking at these people in different generations who are not, I'm not going to say adept at, but who are not comfortable with stream TV as their only option. These are paying cable customers. But you look at, like, some stats came out today on the ESPN deal and how many subscribers ESPN Plus has added. Well, you look at some of those numbers, dude, and it's not accidental. I mean, when they launched in September of 2018, they had 1 million. Today, they've got 25 million. Like, you look at that number right there, May 2023, they have 25.3 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
It's a big number.
That growth, I mean, you look at the boom from, like, August 2021 to November to February to May, like, you're just seeing these big leaps and bounds. This is not accidental. A lot of these customers that you're seeing in this graphic right here, these are customers that cut the cord and they left cable or satellite and they went to their phones. They went to their smart TVs and they signed up for ESPN Plus. I think that's a big part of this. I think I can tell you I watch a lot of content on ESPN Plus on my phone.
Yeah.
And it's super easy. And again, I go back to the origins of this conversation when I told you guys straight away, if I were the Pac-12, I'd go all in on Amazon Prime Sports. It's on my phone. It's easy to access. It's affordable. They have a massive subscriber base already.
Yes.
Like, I would have done everything I had to do, even if it meant taking a cut in revenue. I would have done everything I had to do to get the package completely on Amazon Prime, because I don't see a way that you're going to do a deal with ESPN and a streamer of note.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge problem. Like, if you're an Apple TV If you're an Apple Plus, like, why are you wanting to split content with ESPN?
You're not.
Right? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem for ESPN, and also the value of ESPN is that ESPN is a one-stop shop. They can get to linear, they can get to digital, they can get to stream. Like, they get to everybody, and I think ESPN obviously deserves a lot of credit for that, but at the same time, like, ESPN doesn't need the Pac-12, and this is, again, brings me right back to the problem at hand. The Pac-12 is not some conference where you're like, my God, I have got to have Pac-12 on my network. Like, that's just not where they're at, and I think that's the trouble with it. That's why Apple can say all or nothing. That's why ESPN's like, we don't want tier 1. We want like tier 2, tier 2.5, as close to 3 as we can get, even though 3 doesn't exist. Like, like, that's why you have these different companies essentially playing hard to get with the Pac-12. And ultimately, again, this brings us back to this concept of Brett Yormark providing the blueprint for the Pac-12, which is, hey, yeah, we get it. It's going to be hard to put a distribution deal together, but that doesn't mean that you can't add value to your offering by putting together a combine at, I don't know, the Rams Stadium, let's say. Or, hey, there's no reason why you can't have Media Day, not in Las Vegas where you have absolutely no representation, but somewhere in California or Oregon or whatever. Like, dude, I just don't understand why you wouldn't create these secondary things.
But again, I think there is tremendous value in West Coast football. Yeah. I do. I am a big believer in it. I think the need versus wants, that's an interesting question. I believe that the Pac-12 and its membership is incredibly valuable. I think they have a cash flow problem. I mean, and I do disagree that layoffs are the reason that they can't get paid. I think that's complete bullshit. I think it is an excuse. I think that, again, and we're going to talk about Pat McAfee here in a minute, but I look at the way that ESPN is so heavily chasing, and really Pat's chasing them according to sources, and like Andrew Marchand at the New York Post, I think, is the first one that had it, that Pat McAfee was likely to end up, I believe he said, at ESPN. There's money out there.
Yeah.
But nobody is paying for 1 or 2 games a week at $400 million.
Facts.
ESPN's not doing that. And I think ESPN's business model is significantly different. And I think Jimmy Pitaro, the boss at ESPN, has talked about this. They're going to be far more pragmatic in the rights fees that they do pay out and to whom. And I think everything has to leverage the stream. Everything has to leverage ESPN Plus. And I think that's where Apple and ESPN part ways. They are not going to play nice in the sandbox together.
Yeah.
And why should they? They're competitors, right? But I also look at ESPN. This Pat McAfee deal, he's making $30 million a year with FanDuel. Are you telling me he's walking away from FanDuel for a pay cut? And if it's a pay cut, is it a big pay cut? I don't think it's a big pay cut. Like, I was told the other day that they're working on a $150 million deal. And that is, by some accounts, that's a 5-year deal. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of bread, dude. That is a lot of bread. And I don't know. Is that a pay cut? Is that not, like, I wouldn't call that a pay cut. But the thing that really stands out to me is there's money out there. Like, I look at this Phoenix Suns situation today. I don't know how many people saw the story with the Phoenix Suns today, that a bankruptcy court voided their deal with Gray TV. And now, essentially, the process is going to start over. Because for those of you who don't know, Bally Sports, who is the namesake of the regional sports network, is in bankruptcy.
Right.
And deep in bankruptcy. The Suns, who are on Bally Sports Arizona, essentially raised a middle finger and said, we're going to go do our own deal locally. Well, today a bankruptcy judge voided that deal, and now they're back in court.
Uh-huh.
So this is a very difficult, at times, landscape to navigate.
Right.
I don't think it's a surprise the Suns TV deal was voided. I think they still wind up on Gray TV.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of working through that process and finding the solution.
I agree.
that if you're Bally, you're trying to do every single thing that you can. And obviously it's up to the court to stop this, of course, and that's why the Suns are having to go back and start the process over. But again, I mean, if you're Bally Sports, you're going to hold the Suns to the contract. You are. And I think that that's just part of the process. And I think that this is something that a lot of people are going to say, oh my God, like this is why regional, setups don't work. And I think it's precisely the opposite. To me, this is a dying RSN trying to hold on to the last strings of survival it can. And I completely understand that. I empathize with that. It's all good. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's all good. You can put them through the process. So to me, I just think that ESPN, when they look at opportunities like Pat McAfee, or as I like to call opportunities where they can get ultra relevant content on their platform, specifically ESPN Plus, they're going to do that all day long.
That advertisers want to target the audience of that content.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people forget as well. What does Pat McAfee bring? He brings young men who like sports and beer, apparently, and they also gamble. That's what they bring. And Pat's walking away from a FanDuel deal because FanDuel and ESPN don't mix.
Right.
Because I think ESPN's with Caesars Sports. So, Pat's of value. What's the value proposition? Which, again, I know we've talked about this on the show in the past. Tell me the value proposition of the Pac-12 right now. We're the preeminent football brand in the country. No, can't say that. We have the best football on the West Coast. Can't say that. That's the Big Ten. We have quality programming in a time slot that a lot of networks need content for. Sort of. Maybe. All right, cool. Pay us $500 million a year.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't know what their value proposition is. I do think this late night window Pacific time is a value proposition.
100%.
I think it is. And while you're hitting the like button, I will tell you that that's a big reason why the Big Ten was so willing to pay USC and UCLA, because I think they knew that would help close the NBC part of that deal.
Well, and I think if you're the Big Ten or even the Big 12, or certainly the SEC, these conferences that are healthy and ultimately in 5 to 10 years down the line are going to be looking to poach schools. You understand, okay, yeah. I mean, if we can get some representation out west without doing some major addition of the conference, and we're not trying to add 8 or 10 teams or some ridiculous move, but I mean, yeah, if we can get a brand like SC or UCLA and we can add the Pacific time zone, why would we not do that? I mean, that just makes sense.
All right, let's get your comments in here today. Christopher Shannon says McAfee's show on YouTube does ridiculous numbers. Yes, it does. It did 500,000 views for one episode of Aaron Rodgers on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I watch every day. I'm 50 years old, and I watch Pat McAfee every day. And I think the question about Pat McAfee, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, because I think the people that watch this show, you're men 18 to 49. That's who you are, according to YouTube anyways. And I'm curious what your thoughts are. Is Pat McAfee the face of sports talk in this country? Because I think I could make a pretty strong argument that he is. I think if you look at the arc of sports talk, and really it started with sports talk radio.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would tell you that sports talk radio lived in New York City at WFAN for a lot of years. I think WFAN is not what it used to be. I look at ESPN radio, and I think ESPN radio is eating itself, unfortunately. I just think the product has suffered so much. And I think through the pandemic, I think sports radio really suffered. But what came out of that was a boom in podcasting and a boom in streaming sports talk, right? A la Pat McAfee, the Monty Show, frankly. And I think what you're really seeing now is you're looking at a situation where a guy like Pat McAfee is energetic. I think more people know him for WWE than they do that he was a kicker for the Colts. Honest to goodness.
Yeah.
I think that there is an entire young demo that has no idea that Pat McAfee walked away from an NFL contract at the top of his talent. I think most people don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think and I know more about Pat than most people, but if you look at his arc, I don't think most people realize he was at ESPN, left ESPN. I think he went to like DAZN. He went to DAZN, Barstool at one point. Like, Pat's bumped around. Pat's not the easiest guy to put a lasso on and keep in the pen, right?
Yeah.
But now Pat's built his own thing, and he appears on his show shirtless, and he wears tank tops every day, and they drink beer on the show, and they play pickleball. But that today, I think, is the face of sports talk. It's not Jim Rome anymore.
No.
It's not. It's not like, I haven't listened to Colin Cowherd in, dude, it's got to be 6-8 months now.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch Pat McAfee or I listen to Jim Rome. Like, Jim Rome's on vacation this week. I'm not listening.
No.
I'm watching Pat McAfee full time. But I think the other issue here is that local radio across the country has become such it's been infested by just lazy ass shitpot radio that so many people are looking for alternatives. And I think that started with podcasts, and now I think streaming YouTube shows have just exploded.
Yeah, I mean, I think the visual element just adds another dynamic. I think it allows, it creates a connection that you can't have over the radio, in my opinion. And I think that I would agree with that. I think whether it's in Salt Lake, Dallas, Seattle, wherever, sports talk in the big picture, with some exceptions, frankly, is just pretty much crap right now. I mean, there's no real way around that. And I think that what happens is, and we see this a lot in the professional setting, people get comfortable, they don't take their job seriously anymore, so they just kind of show up and don't have a plan of what they want to talk about and wind up, dropping F-bombs on the radio or doing dumb things or whatever. Like, things happen, but that's why those things happen, because you think you can just turn on the mic.
But look at this situation with Bob Huggins in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Right? You look at the fact that Bob Huggins went on a radio show in Cincinnati, dropped some gay slurs, not one, two, and then that doesn't even account for the fact that he slurred Catholics as well, right? And it's because the host, who is a legendary host, I think he's been there almost 40 years or something, he and Bob Huggins were friends when Huggy was at Cincinnati. So he called him out of the blue, and Bob Huggins went on about just the most awful rant about the LGBT community.
Right.
But what happened there? You've got a guy who's been there 40-something years. Nobody's telling him when to scratch his ass. Nobody's coaching him. Nobody's saying, hey, we don't call guests on the fly and surprise them. Right? Like, no, we're not doing that. Like, by the way, did anybody choose to hit the dump button when Bob Huggins said that? So was your producer trained? Do you have a dump button in that studio? Like, there's 1,001 questions I could ask about that. But you know what it all is? It's all a total lack of professionalism.
Yes.
Because you don't operate that way. You don't say those things. You don't slur Catholics and slur the LGBT community, to which, by the way, Bob Huggins will serve almost no penalty. He's been fined $1 million, and he's going to miss 3 games to start the basketball season. Like, it's crazy.
He's going to do some classes.
But my point is, there is a lack of professionalism in sports talk radio. Yeah. And I think radio in general. And I think that's why, guys like us have been able to thrive. We're doing 500,000 views a month on YouTube. And while that's not a lot, I understand we're just the small little Monty program. Hey, dude, it's paying the bills, and it's moving, it's moving people. Mm-hmm. Like Maury Alvarez, the great Floridian, who says ESPN is like, hey, PAC, you should merge with the Big 12. Nah, we'll see. We will see. Lowball them so they break up and go to the Big 12 anyway.
Yeah.
I buy in.
Spot on.
And to Maury's point, I buy into the idea that the folks at the good old 4-letter network, I don't think that they are actively working to blow up the Pac-12. They're just not actively working to help it survive.
Yeah, they have no incentive to.
Because they already own the rights in the Big 12, and I think they would be just fine if everybody went to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Because what Maury is hinting at there is what we exclusively reported, is that the Big 12 and the Pac-12 were strongly pushed to talk about merging by Fox and ESPN. Mm-hmm. And the Pac-12 said, nah, we're good. Thanks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, problem. Hey, look at that. Mayor McCluskey and the Hizzy 2 days in a row. He says, Victor's the way, McCluskey.
Victor's the way.
Love it. Love it. Connor Johnson, we don't know the value yet. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. No doubt at all. Let's see. Who else? David Sebesta. And the costs are relatively low, not a huge support staff.
He's talking about Pat, I think.
Well, Pat's got a huge support staff. I would say that. You know. Moff Prof says, I've never watched the Pat McAfee show. You probably should.
Yeah, I think, so this conversation around professionalism in sports talk, like I think Pat blends that line a lot. And I think that burns me out a little bit. Like he has a great show. It's very unique. He's, because of his time in the NFL, he has connections like Aaron Rodgers, which ultimately is what has propelled him.
And there are some people saying that he's paying Aaron Rodgers $500,000 a season to go on his show every Tuesday.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I mean, the guy's got money. I mean, that's just is what it is. That's business, right? I mean, you got to have money to do things, but I'm a big proponent of the opinion that Pat McAfee's show isn't great because they do great sports talk. Pat McAfee's show is great because they have guests and it's such a different product that you're not going to get anywhere else that it compels you to stay. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And by the way, I also think it needs to be said that if he does in fact go to ESPN, this would be the first real dip your toe in the water by a major network to pick up someone who's gone the YouTube route. And I think that's really interesting to think about.
Yeah, it is. Spangler, what's up, my guy? Pat McAfee's on the clock. He's going to make as much money as he can as quickly as he can. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree, Tanner. Says research institutions, that's the PAC's value. Hey, guys, they're all research institutions. Totally worth the money. I think that's a good point, Tanner. Totally think that's a good point. Victor's the way, McCluskey. When I think research institution, my first school of choice, Arizona State. Research in the Honeys on Mill Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely right. Ute softball fan says YouTube should not be telling me who I am. Well, should not be telling me who I am. Well, probably they shouldn't. Spangler says Mike and the Mad Dog. Yeah, remember Mike and the Mad Dog back in the day?
And that, that's the real shame about it, too, because I feel like not even 20 years ago, sports talk was so healthy.
Yeah. Moth Prof, who, Pat, really never heard of him. Oh, come on. I think everybody's heard of Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Simon 2077. Brock Heward said, quote, I got to mingle with coaches and ADs and the commissioner, George Kliavkoff, and then we did the same the next night with the Big 12, and I'll tell you, you could not have had two different environments. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think there is real momentum. Without a doubt. Tanner Plummer, it's hard for me to like Pat McAfee. His whole vibe just rubs me the wrong way. A lot of people say that.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think he's not for everyone, but I think that's every show. I
guarantee you we rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, and
that's why we closed our massage parlor.
Yeah, we had to end our business with good old Bob Kraft, but, ultimately, I think that, look, Pat does good stuff. You're
not a big fan of Pat McAfee.
I'm not some huge fanboy of Pat. I think that Pat wouldn't be where he is without football, right?
Correct.
At that same time, though, he deserves a lot of credit for doing what he did in football and getting to this point. And I don't care that he has the ability to pay Aaron Rodgers, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. That's great, man. That's great. I wish I had that ability, honestly. And we've looked into it. We've looked at Evan Joe Burrow on the show. We've looked at Dak. We've looked at these guys. And yeah, some of them do cost that much. It's not a secret. And I think that, Pat McAfee, again, just because he's younger, he understands the power of video. And we would be millionaires if we got 25 cents for every time someone's like, well, how do you YouTube or how do you use video?
Oh, my God.
It's absolutely incredible to me how few people understand it.
Yep. Saul Goodman said Pat sucked as a punter. He did not.
Wasn't
he all-pro? I think Pat McAfee was an all-pro.
Yeah.
He did not suck as a punter. He did not. Renee Roca says, I heard he was on wrestling. I know nothing about Pat McAfee. Crazy. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, though. Pat has a massive listenership, and most people in the country probably have no idea what he does. Mm-hmm. That's how much of an untapped market there is. Delaric, Pat had at least 3-4 more years in the NFL if he wanted to. Absolutely. He walked away from a contract in the NFL. So he did not suck as a punter. Ruff's official says he listens to the Dan Patrick Show. Absolutely. Dan's a legend. But I just think Dan is constantly in like fifth gear. He is constantly like just cruising.
Yeah, I mean, I think
he's just cruising, man.
I think Dan Patrick's the pinnacle of professionalism in sports talk radio. I think, guys who I think are the ultimate professionals, Dan Patrick leads the way in that. And I think that he's been a phenomenal teacher. There's no doubt that he's got a great program that you can get into to learn how to do sports talk. But I just think, ultimately, Dan Patrick has aged out. Jim Rome has aged out. Now, that said, I still like to get some Jim Rome in. I like his style. I like him because he has fun. Yeah,
but when you listen to Dan Patrick, you absolutely need some buckshot from Bucked Up.
Well, he needs some buckshot.
Because Dan will put you to sleep. Look at that, my friends. Buckshot from Bucked Up, the official energy partner of the Monty Show. I'm telling you, this is the way, friends. I know Victor's the way.
Victor's the way.
No, he's not. Buckshot's the way. Let's crack him open. I have got the America Rocket Pop. Is my flavor today. Jake is drinking the watermelon. Water ice. Yes, sir. Absolutely right. Bucked Up, Buckshot. That's not my favorite flavor. It's decent. Watermelon is so good. I'm telling you. Get the 6 free samples in the description below. A Buckshot, clean, long-lasting energy. We take it about this time every day. It powers us through the show. The thing I love about Bucked Up, they're just good local entrepreneurs. Ryan Gardner is the CEO of the year here in the great state of Utah. Like, the guy just gets it. Their products work. They're affordable. They're clean energy. Get to buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty to save 20% at checkout, by the way. But go right now and get 6 free samples of Buckshot. In the description below. On this show, you're going to see that there is a link for 6 free Buckshots. Hook it up. Go get it. Buckshot, the best high-powered energy shot in the business. Of course, you could always go to a Bucked Up store all across Utah. I shop at, I've been to Orem. South Jordan's down the street from the crib.
Yeah.
All the way up to Farmington Station, all the way down to St. George. It's Bucked Up. Let's see. Don in Kansas says, Pat was a Big 12 guy back in college. West Virginia. I said I'd never sing on the show again. Salty Victor's the way.
Salty Victor's the way.
Victor's the way.
Is that what we're doing now? Is that why Australians are kickers, Tanner? Could be. Brady Cook says, hit the like button, casuals. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Hit the like button. We've had 1,500 views today already, and we only have, what is that? 93 likes. Let's get to 100.
Be better. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's see. I believe Zesty's Retro in Games has given us a $2 tip to say once a deal gets out, how fast do moves happen after? I think
quickly.
I think we're in a window now, as it's been described to me. I've been told that they're simply trying to understand the best deal possible. And I still maintain by June 1st that I would be shocked if we didn't have movement.
Yeah.
And I think that the moment that these schools figure out a grant of rights is not going to happen with the Pac-12, they're going to roll. If you see a grant of rights, it's over. They're all staying together. Because, again, I'm telling you, and I know the Pac-12 is dead. They're dying. It's over.
Pac-12 ain't on.
It's over. Truck stop conference. I get it, right? But there's not a school in this conference that's looking forward to leaving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And you can celebrate and you can prematurely shoot your wad off about the Pac-12's dead. Come on already. Just get it over with. Throw them in the hole, kick some dirt on top of it.
Right.
I've seen Casino. I know how it's done.
Right.
Like, hey, dude, that's cool. But they're not dead yet. Yeah. And I truly don't believe that they are close to being dead.
Yeah.
I really don't. Tanner Plummer. Wait, did Monty just say this is the way? Is he a Mandalorian? No.
Victor's the way.
No. Taylor, any Scott Van Pelt fans out there? Yes, SVP is one of the nicest people I've ever dealt with.
Legend.
Back in the day when I was a booking producer for the Jim Rome Show, like back in 99, 2000-ish, Scott Van Pelt was easily the nicest guy to deal with.
Yeah.
Easily. And having come across him a few times when I worked at the great four-letter network known as ESPN. Not that you give a shit about my resume, but when I worked at ESPN, SVP was a really good dude to work with.
Yeah.
So I think he's phenomenal. Yes, I am huge. LV Seminole says, I can't catch the Pat shows live, but I could catch his clips. Found you two that same way as well. Shows the value of hosting on YouTube. Now I can catch you live. Well, LV Seminole, we appreciate you being here, dude.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a great point. Like, I think that's the beauty of YouTube. It's 24/7, and I think, people, I feel like right now there's still this lack of understanding that we're live 3 to 6 Mountain every day, but ultimately it's on YouTube 24/7.
But what do people say to us all the time, Jake? Like, you guys only have 17,000 subs. You can't have 500,000 views. People have no idea how YouTube works.
Stupid ass questions.
They're like, hey, you have 500 people watching your show. Where do you get 500,000, prick? And it's like, dude, you have no idea how YouTube works. None whatsoever. Yeah. And I cannot tell you, again, we talk about YouTube every day. Like not that you care, but we consult major brands on how to build their YouTube channels.
Right.
And they don't listen because they don't understand it. And then you're like, hey, X, Y, Z equals your mom and your dad, and that's how you got here.
Cock.
And they're like, oh, we should probably do that.
Oh.
Like you explain it to them, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God. Wait, this lives on YouTube forever? When I say
name, image, and likeness.
When I say buckedup.com, that's on YouTube forever?
Oh.
Yeah, it is. People don't get it. So I can tell you, like, YouTube tells you how many people every minute watch a video on your channel.
Yeah.
Radio doesn't know how many people every day listen to it. And one of the famous stories on this show is we started this show years ago. And let's call it 3 years ago when we came back to Utah with the idea of becoming the biggest sports talk show in Utah.
Yeah.
That was our stated goal by going to YouTube.
Mm-hmm. And we started with what? 800?
100.
Was it 100?
100 and... Do you not remember the story? I believe it was 137 subscribers.
Yeah.
About a year and a half ago.
I haven't thought about that in a minute.
We had 100. We could not monetize because we didn't have 1,000 subscribers.
That's right.
And I remember Gabe Ledley, like Lopes fan Gabe, evangelizing for the channel. And when we moved off of Twitter and moved to YouTube full time, yeah, he was like, hey, I watched this show and they do these things. Like, hey, and then we started watching Joe Rogan because Joe at the time had a massive YouTube channel, still does. Hey, he's doing it this way. And so, of course, because nobody reinvents the wheel,
yeah,
we started doing it that way. And we had 137 subscribers.
Yeah.
And now we're just at about 17,000. So we're still a small channel, subscriber-wise. We're at 16,885 subscribers.
Right.
So we're 115 away from 17,000.
Hey, by the way, click subscribe. Thanks.
Yeah, if you're not, hit subscribe. And the like button, because that helps us get subscribers.
Thanks.
But our goal was to become the largest sports talk show. So one thing leads to another. We're talking to a major client, and they have all of the numbers for all of the media outlets. And we said to this person, hey, well, we'd like to do business with you guys because we want to become the largest sports talk show in Utah. And this person said to us, oh, you guys are, you are? Wait a minute. You are the largest sports talk show in Utah, I thought. And I was like, well, no, we're working towards that. And she started reading us numbers like, well, your competitor, you guys are on in the morning. And at the time we were doing morning drive. And she started telling me like all of the numbers. And she's like, yeah, you guys are far and away the biggest sports talk show in the morning. And she's like, well, let me look at the afternoon. And she's like, yeah, she straight up said, nobody really listens to the radio in the afternoon here, but like, and that's how this stuff happens. Like, that's how this stuff happens. So when people say, well, you guys are not, okay. Well, you tell the ad agencies that we're not the largest sports talk show in Utah with 500,000 views a month. And nationally now, like all of Texas, all of California, all of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Idaho, like that's the greatness of YouTube. I tell you that to say that's the greatness of YouTube.
Yeah, and I think I still maintain, dude, like nobody ever talks about it. There was a stat, I'll find it tonight maybe. It's like 6 billion YouTube accounts or some ridiculous number of YouTube accounts. And obviously all those are not active. But I mean, just the idea that it's that many is insane. I mean, it's why, James Knight or any of the folks in the Philippines are like, that's the other thing that I love about YouTube. And that's why, frankly, that's why I think Pat McAfee's had the success he's had. I mean, I look at some of these some of the other shows that you guys are commenting about, like, the Dan Patrick Show or Jim Rome or any of the other names, even Colin Cowherd. I mean, you see these guys starting to embrace YouTube, and it's like, dude, like, it's an untapped market, bro. And that's why I think YouTube is just so prolific now and will continue to grow.
Hey, look at Chad Masters. So I'm old. I used to listen to Scott Farrell on the bench.
But, okay, Scott's a great example, though. Like, Scott Farrell, in my opinion, never was like, Dan Patrick, Jim Rome level, but Scott's a legend in the radio game,
right,
man.
But because he's been controversial, and I knew Scott from Sports Channel in Chicago when he worked at KMBR 680.
Yes.
And he would play hockey in his studio, and like he was one of the first guys to do video and do a TV show. And now Scott is at CBS Sports Radio and kicking ass. But what has Scott done? Scott's gone almost exclusively gambling on his show. So guys matriculate. Like I can tell you, I just used the word matriculate.
Right.
I can tell you, like if I go back, Jim Rome was absolutely one of the most impressive people on my career. If you think about sports, there was a guy named Lance McAllister, who I think now is in Cincinnati, who was on ESPN 1000 in Chicago, or Mike North on The Score in Chicago, like who had a tremendous impact on my career. Like I think about all these guys, and sports talk radio has shaped so much of my life. So to hear you, Chad Masters, talk about Scott Farrell, I think is phenomenal.
How much, I'd be curious too in the comment section, how much the video portion of YouTube, improves your experience. Like if YouTube wasn't video, would you be on YouTube, right? Like, is video that much of a differentiator? Because I think it is. I think being able to see and hear is crucial.
Yeah, I think that's exciting. Do you guys, is video the difference maker for you guys? I'm curious about that as well. Arlington Bears, what's up, my guy? Good to see you,
up,
Chris
bro?
Karn. Good to see you, my friend. Dustin Osterman, the Monty Show gets me bricked up.
It gets me bricked up.
Are you bricked up, or are you begging for the bricked up drop?
I'm so bricked up right now.
And whose fault is it that drop is on this show?
Please.
This guy.
Please.
Awesome. Victor's the way says, what's up, Arlington Bears? Boy, look at you guys getting after it. Travis Bird. There's Victor's the way. I believe you guys are one of the big, best things that's ever happened to me. Real talk. Oh, I appreciate you.
The way.
Appreciate you, Big
Greg.
Daddy Magic. Greg Romano says, listening to Monty beats listening to Gordon Monson every day. I he's
think,
just aged out.
Yeah,
right.
And I think we need to be, one thing I don't love about the sports talk radio conversation when it comes to Salt Lake particularly is like Gordon Monson is a legend in Salt Lake. He is a name. There's no question about it. But yeah, he has aged out, and that's okay. That's a natural progression in radio. It's not like that makes somebody a bad person or like, but I think that's what we do to people. And it's like, dude, like, bro had a nice career. Now it's time to move on. Now it's time for the next person to come up.
Mark Hale says, I like the David Stein show, a celebration of life through sports. I used to work with David at Sporting News Radio. Sporting News Radio. Huge golf fan. Spangler, if Monty and Jake invited Mia Khalifa on, she'd show up. She's fashion's it girl right now. We tried to get Mia Khalifa on at the shitty radio station in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, this radio station sucks. We almost got her to come on the show. You know. Mark Hale says, despite what you look like, yes, video makes a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Bro, did you just call us fat, bro?
He did. By the way, I lost 2 more pounds. So, not for long. YouTube is way better because I can watch, listen, and easily switch between different websites.
Yeah.
Tanner Plummer, Stephen A. Smith is my ASMR. When I listen to one of his rants while I lay in bed, I fall asleep in a heartbeat. Wow, that was going in a long different place. Moth Prof, the Monty face is why we are here. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Brad M. Yes, video makes a big difference.
I agree.
Arlington Bears says, I'm Les Grobstein, old school. Oh, that hurt me so much when he passed. Les Grobstein is a Chicago sports radio icon, like just a legend, and he passed away. And it sucks because overnight radio is not the same. By the way, Chris Karn, Superdog in Chicago, 75 years old today.
Yeah, dude.
75
Legend.
years old. The Joint. The Joint. Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago,
The
Superdog.
diamonds have always been one of my favorite things about Superdog.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
the way it looks, the motif of it is just
And
amazing.
the diamonds are on the box. Like
Yes.
the hot dog's the best in the world. Chris, you always have me reminiscing. Brady Cook says, yeah, it's better to have video. John Llewellyn says video is huge. Jaron Eccles, what's up, Jaron Eccles? Good to see you, dude. I would rather watch a video live stream on YouTube than just a voice on Spotify. It feels more personal and real.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Jaron.
They're definitely real.
That was awkward as hell. Oh, Jaron.
No.
Jaron. I don't know. Jaron. Renee Roca says Tarrant County, Arlington Cowboys. That's right. Victor's the way McCluskey says video now is a difference maker now that I don't have to stare at that sad excuse for a mascot, aka Swoop, on the shelf on your back wall. It's funny, I worked out with Mrs. Monty this morning in the old studio.
We're calling it now?
What?
You worked out with Mrs. Monty?
Hey, can't say those things on the show. Anyway, I was on the old Peloton treadmill this morning, and what's sitting on my empty desk in the old Monty dungeon? Swoop, the bird, is lonely on the desk.
How much do you reminisce when you go down in the basement, dude?
You know what? We should talk about working out at home versus working out in the. Yeah. Oh man, I made millions in that basement. Tanner Plummer, Brad Rock, anyone? Oh, I love the Rock Monster. Brad Rock is one of the genuinely nicest people in the world. Christopher Shannon says that's the real thing. These other radio people are aging out.
Yeah,
it is.
dude, it is. And I think that, the real shame in it, my opinion, has always been they don't need to age out. It's that they don't change their style at all. Like, you can't change your voice, but you can change the type of show you do. It doesn't always have to be this slow and methodical and just boring ass show.
Jared.
Yeah, like it's just I'm just like, dude, like, bro, at some point you're gonna figure out that not everybody cares about, CIA, security level 5 X's and O's on football, bro. Like at some point we want to just have a surface level conversation.
Don't get me started on local radio. Don't get me started on it because I can't do it. I was so bricked up over a taco grande pizza, no olives.
Hi, I'm Kylie, and I make fresh, delicious Papa Murphy's pizza.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I make the Papa Murphy's pizza.
Sure, that's take and bake. We built it with the freshest ingredients. You bake it fresh in your oven.
By you mean me, so technically, I make the pizza.
Super good pizza, Kylie.
Oh, Kylie, so good. Right now, enjoy big-time taco flavors on a pizza with the limited-time Taco Grande. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
I'm so bricked up right now.
Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Download the Papa Murphy's app. It is by far the best way for you friends to get your pizza. This hour of the show presented by our good friends, speaking of Papa Murphy's Pizza, at Barbecue Pit Stop. What's up? Barbecue Pit Stop. Have you been to the Payson location yet? Yes, Lehigh's amazing. Yes, the Jeezy's amazing. But that Payson location,
real.
if you're ready to get your meat and put it on the smoker, go to Payson.
Real.
Brand new, beautiful store in a butcher shop. And yet, when you hear the name Barbecue Pit Stop, what do you think? Well, the best barbecue equipment in the business. Traeger, Yoder, Big Green Egg, Camp Chef, nailed. They have it all, right? But now, all of their shops at Barbecue Pit Stop, whether it's Logan, Layton, Lehigh, Payson, the Jeezy, and St. George, or our good friends in Murray on State Street, they all have select cuts of meat. They all have rubs, spices, seasonings like the asado seasoning from Flavor Knuckles. I'm telling you guys, I had scrambled eggs the other day. We have all, by the way, decided as a family that for Mother's Day, we are going to stay home and make a custom brunch breakfast.
Yeah.
And then Jake doesn't know yet. Me and Mrs. Monty are going to see John Wick without him.
Wow.
Hey,
that hurts my feelings, dude.
Date day.
That hurts my feelings.
But you put some asado seasoning in those scrambled eggs. Dude, it's amazing. This is Flavor Knuckles right here. Flavor Knuckles asado seasoning. Get it at bbqpitstop.com or go to any of their stores. Again, Logan, Layton, Lehigh, Salt Lake City, and St. George, and of course their newest store in Payson. Make sure you tell me you heard about it on the Monty Show. Suck it up, Buttercup. All of those Pac-12 teams come to the Big 12. The Big 12 will have many AAU schools just like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's going to happen. I still am not, and I know that everybody wants to prognosticate, and I would love to hear from you guys in the comments section. What do you think is going to happen with the Pac-12?
Don't play intramurals, brother.
I think the Pac-12 is going to stay largely intact. My biggest question is, and you don't hear me say this often, I have no idea what they're going to do for a stream deal. I really don't know, because the people telling me, the two main people telling me that Amazon's out altogether, they're like highfalutin, powerful people. They're not people that say things that don't come true. Like so it would be shocking to me at this point if the Pac-12 wound up at Amazon.
Right.
It would be shocking to me, though, if the Pac-12 wound up at Apple TV, because so many in the Pac-12 do not want Apple TV, because Apple TV is a stream only and they will not take part of the big Pac-12 package. They want the whole thing.
Right.
So it'd be shocking to me if the Pac-12 wound up at Apple TV.
Right.
And after that, I don't know what the answer is. I truly do not, because ESPN does not want Tier 1 because they're not going to pay for it. And I truly, the way I would say this, here's the way I would package where ESPN's at, according to sources who have told me that ESPN's at $90 million a year, period.
Right.
You want to give us Tier 1 for that? All right, cool, let's do it. But that's all we're giving you. We are not in any way, shape, or form going to overpay for these rights, Jake, and I think that's a big flipping deal.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any reason to overpay for the rights. I mean, again, it's not a situation where Alabama plays in the Pac-12. It's not a situation where these massive brands play in your conference. And listen, Oregon, Utah, before the Big Ten thing happened, SC, like you had a nice collection of a conference where you had 3 or 4 top tier brands, but now you don't. And that's kind of the problem here. And I think, again, we just had this great conversation on the show for those of you just joining about, the difference between talk radio and sports talk streaming on YouTube, and like the difference between video and audio. And I think that same conversation is a big time problem for the presidents in the Pac-12, because they don't understand that YouTube is deep, that streaming video is deep as far as listenership and viewership and how many people are going to engage with your product in that way. And I think there's a lot of uncertainty. It's like, okay, Like the NFL on Amazon, they didn't do amazing numbers like the numbers they thought they would do. They still did more numbers than linear, though, and they still made a lot of money on that. And that's what I think the fascinating part about streaming and philosophy on streaming is. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm not sure if streaming is going to be, if streaming can carry tier 1 for us. Well, I'm here to tell you, if the NFL is good with a game a week on stream, then I'd be fine putting a good portion of my games on stream and selling that. I think that's totally viable.
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I'll be honest with you. I think you guys know I'm pretty straightforward about what I know and what I don't know, and I don't know what happens here with their streaming side of this. I think there is a large part of me that believes that the Pac-12 could wind up doing it in-house, because I just don't see that they have a workable model unless they end up at NBC Universal. Because the other part of this that you got to remember, they have a massive debt that they owe to Comcast.
Yeah.
That's not going to be easy for them to repay if they come in under their numbers for TV. Mm-hmm. So I still maintain NBC Universal is a really convenient place to go. But we have heard no momentum about that deal after, there have been no steps forward. Hey, NBC Universal's re-engaged. And then usually couple of days later, you're going to hear, hey, it's going to be XYZ. But none of that has happened, right? None of that has happened, and I think it is a significant struggle to get that done. You know what, Gary? Maybe you're saying that tongue-in-cheek, but YouTube TV is where Pac-12 belonged many, many moons ago.
Yes.
The Pac-12, the Pac-12 should have been at YouTube TV from day one.
Yeah.
And we talked to Larry Scott about it. We asked him straight away, hey, why not? Right? But he has said no.
No.
David Sebesta, by June, the Pac-12's options will be OnlyFans, InfoWars, and X-Hamster. Should I admit that I don't know what X-Hamster is?
I have no idea what
Kurt
that is.
Peters, just don't put games back on DirecTV with Pac-12 Network. Well, but I mean, if Pac-12 Network is your only option, why would you not do that? I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I just think it's a real struggle.
Yeah.
Eddie Stas, Ducks and Huskies won't sign the grant of rights, so not sure how the Pac is going to stick together with less money. Again, I can only tell you what we've heard about that. Our sources have told us that the Pac-12, if they get $25 million a year or more, will stay together. All 10 will stay.
Yeah.
If they get less than $25 million, they're probably going to lose the Arizona schools in Colorado at a minimum.
Yeah.
And I think once that happens, you're so destabilized that I think there's a good chance you lose Oregon State as well. Mm-hmm. And it'll be very interesting at that point. I think $25 million is the tipping point. If you get, and I think the number's $20 million, but we'll see what happens. I think that's where they're going to end up, because I don't think ESPN's going to pay more than $90 million a year. I truly don't. There was some buzz a month ago, that maybe ESPN would bump up to $100 million a year if they were able to get 2 games on ESPN Plus. But, I mean, are you really telling me at that point you're $10 million, right? And again, I would remind you, this is not for this coming season. Mm-hmm. This is for a year from now. You're going to have 10 teams in the conference. That's 5 games in a full week where everybody's playing. So if 3 of those end up at ESPN, are you telling me that a streamer is going to pay for just 2 games and they're going to pay you $10 or $15 million? Because let's pretend that ESPN goes up to $100 million. That's $10 million per school.
Mm-hmm.
So now you need to find $15 million per school. You need to find another $150 million. So you have 2 games left. Are you telling me that a streamer out there is going to pay you $150 million a year for 2 games? That's the problem for Amazon.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, if ESPN goes up to $100 million, you can't tell me that they're not getting tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just, that the problem is, and this is the issue that I've talked about 1,000 times on this show.
Yeah.
I do not see all the pieces fitting together. The only pieces in my mind that I can reconcile where everything works out for the Pac-12, the Friday night game at Amazon, and ESPN gets the rest.
Yes.
That's the deal that makes sense. But now we have been told Amazon's out altogether. We reported that, I think, last Thursday or Friday. They're out altogether. We have been told straight up that now ESPN is at $90 million and they're not going to push past that. And they want 2 games a week, one on TV, one on ESPN+.
Yeah.
That's what they're not out. They're ESPN, and I want to make this very clear because a lot of people have misconstrued what we have reported. ESPN is willing to do a deal with the Pac-12. Get this right. ESPN's willing to do a deal with the Pac-12 for $90 million. If you want to give us your best game of the week, great. Here's $90 million. By the way, we'll take your third best game of the week, and we'll put that on ESPN+. By the way, ESPN's also saying that game that we're going to put on ESPN TV, we get to pick the time window.
Right.
Because let's not also forget that now they have the ACC, they have the SEC, they have the NBA. They need to be able to massage things. They also need to be able to say, okay, we're going to put that on ESPN too. Or we're going to put that on ESPN News. Or we're going to... And by the way, the other thing that I think is really important, it's not... I think almost never is it going to be on ABC TV.
Yeah. It just doesn't warrant it. I mean, there's no way that it just doesn't... That's not... Like, you're not there if you're the Pac-12.
But in no way, shape, or form. And I would disagree with this as well. There were a lot of people saying that ESPN just doesn't want Pac-12 programming. They are not willing to pay what George Kliavkoff is asking for Tier 1 rights.
Yeah.
And I think that number is $150 million a year. And ESPN's not willing to pay $150 million a year. Therefore, I don't think they're out altogether. They're willing to pay $90 million.
Yeah.
And I think they want one of the top 2 games of the week on TV for that.
Yeah. And it's pretty straightforward. I just don't think it's that complicated. And I think that's why I said this whole, what was it, Dennis Dodd last week coming out saying, hey, the title was like ESPN's out on the Pac-12. And then everyone kind of freaked out and said, oh, man, the Pac-12 is done with, being able to try to get something done with ESPN. That's not what happened. It's just they're not going to pay for Tier 1. So, I just think that as far as options are concerned for the Pac-12, yeah, you are running out of options here. And while the grant of rights model is archaic, in my opinion, it's been going on for way too long, it is what they're trying to do. And I personally love the NBC setup with Peacock and everything, but I don't know that deal even happens. So that's why I say, I think, if you were more willing to go streaming or you were more willing to do regional deals at the school level and have individual deals.
But again, this is also why I say, why are you not forward thinking? Again, not to evangelize, but why wouldn't you just do it on YouTube?
Yeah.
You have a sales machine in the Pac-12. What if, and I know it's crazy, what if you took your 2 best games of the week and streamed them live on YouTube? Okay, what if? And what if you got, Jimmy's Burgers and Joey's Law Firm? And now, of course, on YouTube and Google, you can't have Budweiser or Michelob, or they don't take alcohol advertising.
Right.
But what if you got your standard Toyota and you put a Toyota bug like you see in the top corner of our screen? We have the Advocates, theadvocates.com, right? They're our presenting sponsor. Why can't you put Toyota in the top of the screen? Why can't you do your normal broadcast? Because again, remember, Pac-12's moving to the East Bay and they're going to have a production house that could easily, on an internet connection just like this, you could fairly easily produce a football game and stream it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then sell your content. I know it's crazy. But is it really that crazy? I mean, I just think you're at a point now where you've closed the door on innovation, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
You're in tech's backyard.
Well, it's a mindset thing, right? I mean, it truly is, and I think that's a great point. I mean, Silicon Valley is been the rage for how long? And I think that, the idea that you have these people who know how to do all this, and they're, in your backyard, as he said, and you're not taking advantage of that, and you're not trying to just go out and make as much money as possible. Like, I almost kind of find it, hard to believe they haven't thought about this because conceptually you'd be able to make more than $400 million a year doing it that way. You'd be able to sell the hell out of your broadcasts, and the schools, knowing that that's the model, could then create the shoulder programming around it, like the behind-the-scenes stuff.
See, like, why is that so crazy?
Why is that, like, outlandish? I
don't get it.
And I know I slurp Deion, and I think Deion's Jesus Christ, apparently.
There we go.
But so let me get this right. You have all the folks in Silicon Valley that could show you how to do this.
Yep.
You've got a guy in your conference literally already doing it. Every school and their mom has a videographer on campus that covers each individual sport. I don't care if you're playing badminton. They have Jimmy or Jenny shooting video and doing that for social media. Like, you couldn't tune them up to do a behind-the-scenes series or something? Like, I know you can do these things.
Every Pac-12 school, and furthermore, every college in the country should be doing a docuseries on their football team.
If you don't...
Every single one. And at Gonzaga, they should be doing a docuseries on basketball.
Yeah. Dude, go to Michigan State's YouTube channel. Tell me why every institution's not doing that.
Tell me why San Diego State doesn't have a docuseries on their Final Four run. You have to do this stuff. And to me, if you're the Pac-12, again, not to use big words, it's an existential crisis. You have a crisis of existence.
Literally.
And you got to get outside the box, man. And they just won't.
Part of me wonders if they're willing to do the work. That's part of what I think is why they're so closed off to it, because they know it takes work. But what I think is so funny is, like, okay, yeah, you're real willing to do things that make you money, but you're not real willing to execute.
Thank you.
You're not willing to like go the extra mile and like pay someone, and that's really been my annoyance with the Pac-12. It's like, dude, like, okay, you want to be the conference of champions, but you're not willing to pay the groundwork or to build the infrastructure. So you're not the conference of champions. Like, I don't know, man. Like, at some point you have to change your mindset.
Execute.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it really that difficult to go to Big O Tires and American Fork like Lee Jensen did and get your oil changed so that you can join us June 10th for RSL versus MYFC? It's not. Is it really that difficult to go to Big O Tires and American Fork and get a new set of tires like Riley O'Brien did to join us June 10th for RSL and NYFC, where you're going to be in the ZAG Club, where you're going to get all the food and drink, excluding alcohol, that you want, and you're going to watch the game from midfield, and before the game, you're going to go down to the sideline, and you're going to be on the field pregame to watch warm-ups, and then you're going to go up to the ZAG Club, and you're going to have this beautiful view, and there's seats outside, and you get to sit at midfield, and it's NYFC, and all you have to do is go to Big O Tires and American Fork, like Riley O'Brien did, get a set of tires. Oh, you brought a friend, he got a set of tires too? Great, now Riley O'Brien's got 2 tickets, right? Oh, by the way, Lee Jensen got his oil changed at Big O Tires, because did you know that Big O Tires and American Fork isn't just about tires? They'll do tune-ups, spark plugs, oil changes, flushes. They'll do alignments. They'll put lift kits on for you. They'll do your window tint. They're going to do the window tint on Hank, the Grand Cherokee that I just got. It's got a Hemi in it.
It's got a Hemi, man.
Hey, Daryl, it's got a Hemi in it. Anyway, my point is, so you can go to Big O Tires and American Fork, get your ceramic tint on. They'll change your oil. They'll rotate your tires. They'll top off your fluids. You name it, they'll do it. Anything having to do with check engine lights, Big O Tires and American Fork. New tires, Big O Tires and American Fork. Porsches from Zach Wilson. Where did Zach Wilson take his Porsche?
Look at me.
Big O Tires and American Fork. Do you know they have I think they have 15 BYU players who take their car to American Fork Big O Tires to get it serviced and maintained.
Our guy Ryan, man, doing the work.
It's not that difficult. By the way, maybe you're not in the market for an oil change or tires. Make sure you go and like them on Instagram and Twitter. All you have to do is go find them on Instagram and Twitter, right? Here's their Twitter page right there. Big O AF8. Click the follow button on Twitter, the follow button on Instagram, and then just comment hey, I heard about you guys on the Monty Show, on any of their posts, or send them a DM and say, hey, I heard about you guys on the Monty Show. Send me a picture that you do that. You're qualified. Because, by the way, though, we are now down to just 8 spots left to go and see RSL and NYFC in the Zag Club with the Monty Show.
Yes.
We are down to 8 spots.
Yes.
Now, you can eliminate Tanner Plummer from consideration because you know he's not getting in.
Yeah.
You get VIP parking, VIP entry, pregame experience on the field, gourmet catered, all-you-can-eat dinner, all-you-can-drink non-alcoholic beverages, and there's a bar available for you. And you get tremendous seats to watch RSL and America First Field. All compliments of our good friends, Big O Tires and American Fork. Travis Bird says Tanner should be the one that goes to RSL. Give him my spot.
Sir, you don't have a spot.
He's going to have to earn it. Yeah. Oh, the Victor's the way.
Victor's the way.
But you're going to pro wrestling instead of hanging out with the Monty crew. Okay, that's fine.
Whatever, bro.
It just hurts a little bit. It's
yeah,
fine.
whatever, dude.
You know, I'll let you know when the pain stops.
And look at our guy Lee Jensen now on Twitter. Look at my dude. Look at my dude showing up on Twitter, showing you guys how to do it, bro.
I love it. Way to go, Lee Jensen. Appreciate you. The Monty Show, as always, loves you guys when you tweet at us. So make sure you hit us on Twitter, as Lee Jensen did when he went to Big O Tires. All right, couple more of your comments on the Big 12, and then we got to get to the NFL schedule. Let's see. Spangler says, female athlete hotness, 1 volleyball, 2 pole vault, 3 softball, excluding pitchers. Jake, are softball pitchers hot?
I think so.
Okay. Travis Bird, I promised my grandson. Okay.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean you have a spot, dude.
It hurts, man. It hurts. It hurts. Victor's the way McCluskey. Winning a contest to go see an RSL game is like winning a free ticket to the White Sox-Orioles game.
Boom. Out of here.
McCluskey? That's not very nice.
Dude,
that's not very nice.
The Zag Club is nice, bro.
Salty Victor's the way. I will get a set of Big O tires shipped to Australia, mate, if it guarantees Tanner not attending the RSL competition. Hook it up. Hook it up. Hook it up.
Okay, that is some straight demon energy right there, bro. That is cold-blooded, bro.
Phenomenal. Michael Peck. Good thing there's a bar available. I don't think I could get through an MLS game without being drunk.
There you go.
You know. Victor, hello. Ryan Fair. Do you have a percentage you are capable of throwing on CYU movement by June 1st? 0.67%. I really don't think Colorado is that enthusiastic to go. And again, I know. Dude, I get it. Everybody thinks the Pac-12 sucks and they're dead. And Colorado can't wait to go. Coach Prime. Oh, man. He's got a Big 12, all right. Just ask your mom. I'm telling you right. Nothing?
Sorry, bro. Gary's entered to win the RSL competition, and he just sent me a picture.
He did? What'd he do?
Yeah, here, I'll send this to you. Look.
Nice.
He's like, hey, man, is this how I enter to win? Watch
Love
this.
it.
Watch this here. I'll send this to you.
Love it. Jake's going to send me things off the air so we can't see him.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is, I probably should turn on my Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
The point is, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. See what you did? Oh, yeah. Everybody thinks that Colorado wants to go. I'm telling you that I think Colorado, if they had their druthers, would far more rather stay in the Pac-12 than go to the Big 12.
You have a deal.
And I know that pisses off, Big 12 fans, and we're the scourge of the earth. Yeah, we're the flyover conference with a bunch of truck stops and lot lizards. I totally get that.
The Flying J is loaded.
Yeah, we don't have a source in the world, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. There you go. There's Gary.
Gary sent me this picture right here, and he's like, he literally said, like that, ? He goes, is that how you enter the RSL competition? Sir, that is correct. That is how you enter the RSL competition.
That's exactly right. Heard about you on the Monty Show. Let's go, Gary.
Go, Gary.
You stud. Appreciate you, Gary. Hope to see you at the RSL match. I'm telling you guys, the response on this has been phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And listen, I understand money's tight. Everybody gets their oil changed, right? Everybody goes in. Listen, Have them rotate your tires. Have them top off your fluids.
Yes.
It guarantees you entry into the game because there's got to be 100 people already who are like, dude, we got to do it.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go. Let's go. Got it. Look, dude. I'm telling you, man. Got to get it done. Big O Tires and American Fork. David Schnendorf. Everybody is saying Washington and Oregon are going to the Big 12. Well,
when you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer.
I don't know.
The reality is,
I have not heard that. I have not heard that one time.
Yeah.
I've not heard that. I can only tell you what our sources have said to us, and nobody has ever told me from Pac-12 presidents, administrators, TV industry sources, like people in the room.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever said that Oregon and Washington are going.
I just don't think they fit the Big 12, dude.
I don't think so either. I really, really don't. Kurt Peters, Colorado left because, F Texas.
Right.
I'm also telling you the going back conversation with Colorado is irrelevant. It does not matter. And everybody laughed at me when I said it last time.
It is what it is.
If Nebraska could go back to the Big 12, they would do it yesterday. They are an odd fit. Rutgers, the same, are an odd fit in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Big Daddy Magic. Victor's the way. Monty, you don't feel really bad Monday afternoons. I'm going to be doing good with Will Ambassador for the show the whole day, and you're going to be begging me for forgiveness, but I already forgive you. Wow.
Man, that was... Travis, I love you, bro.
My guy. By the way, wow. How about our guy, Big Bad Brass Balls, joining the show?
Man, I just was so in need of a nice, heavy set of brass balls on the show.
Do those, and this is a real question, do those bruise your thighs?
Man.
Just out of curiosity. Big Bad Brass Balls. Make sure you hit the like button, you guys, right now. We have at over 2,500 views today. We're only at 150 likes. Please hit the like button. The magic number on this show every day. And tomorrow is free membership Thursday.
Is it?
Yeah. I thought we did that every Thursday.
Oh, let's go then.
Where we have people give away
That's
memberships.
right. Yes. Sorry.
Jake's new to the show.
Yeah,
this is his
sorry.
second
Bonnie,
day.
please.
My bad.
Fuck, we've done that for months.
Sorry.
And whose idea was it?
Mine.
Donnie, you're out of your element.
Oh, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. Construction work. It says it's not about fit anymore, but getting away from the trash programs. I don't know about that. I think that that's a really interesting point, construction work. I think that's, to me, when you look at teams that are leaving the Pac-12, there's only one reason they're doing it, and it's money.
Yeah.
Because I think, certainly if you're Arizona, you're doing it for basketball. And I think President Robbins at Arizona, a players program.
No.
What a stupid moniker.
That's got to be one of the dumbest slogans I've ever heard.
Terrible. But when you look at what President Robbins said, this is President Robbins at Arizona from Dennis Dodd saying Robbins painted a nuanced picture for Arizona, citing the school's proximity to the Big 12 footprint and the league's powerhouse basketball brand as the basis for, quote, some affinities. Well, that makes perfect sense because what is Arizona? Or excuse me, Arizona. What is Arizona?
A cheaters program?
It's a basketball school.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
And they hire sweaty coaches who get caught on FBI wiretaps. Allegedly. Thank you. I think it makes sense for Arizona. Does it really make sense for Arizona State? Because Arizona State, and I know that, God bless you, in Tempe, Arizona. Mellow Mushroom on Mill Avenue.
Yes,
hook it up.
Dude, bro.
The problem for Arizona State is, what are you as an athletic department? Because you're not a basketball brand and you're not a football brand.
That's a baseball school, dude.
That is a baseball school.
All day.
Right? But you're not going anywhere without Arizona and likewise. So those two go together. But what is Colorado? Prime time.
Yes.
Right? That's a football school, right?
That's a football school, yeah.
That is a football school.
Yeah, that's a football school.
No question. You have no idea. Do they even play basketball? I don't know. Hey, Monty. I don't even know.
Bro.
What?
Do they play basketball?
I don't think so.
Hey, the running buffs.
I don't think so. I think when you look at what Deion Sanders has done to Colorado, he's turned him into a football program.
Yeah.
Right? There's no doubt about that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Program.
I really don't. I think when you look at Deion, and I love Jake has, and what's the right way to say this? Jake has
certain affinities.
Jake gets kind of bricked up. How about bricked up? Jake gets bricked up.
I'm so bricked up right now.
For Deion Sanders in a cowboy hat. Mm-hmm. Like, I do believe, and you correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not one to exaggerate, right? Like, you guys know I would never, exaggerate beyond
Seems like
exaggerate.
a great opportunity to
slurp and splash. That Jake has pleasured himself to this photo. I'm pretty tell me, and now listen, I think we all also realize that Deion Sanders is all hat and no cattle, right?
That's not true.
I think
your slander is.
I think we all
the fuck out.
Dude,
I think we all know that. But tell me right now that it didn't move when I put this picture up.
It's internal.
You know it did.
What I just said.
You know the same way that I know that you know that I know that we all know that you're forearm strengthening to this photo of Deion in a cowboy hat with no cattle.
Bro.
Can you measure it?
All hat, no cattle.
Salty Victor's the way. Oh, God.
Hey.
He wants to know if it's Deion in a cowboy hat or if it's Kevin Durant.
Hey, Jackwagon, if you're going to reference Deion, spell Buddy's name right, okay? Spell Buddy's name right.
Victor's the way.
D-E-I-O-N.
Deion.
Prime time.
Yeah, still got to go with KD, even though he seems to be becoming a loser as well.
Spangler, all hat, no cattle, boy. Hey, boy. Gary, Deion or Harden?
Because it's Harden. Yeah.
DeLambo, coach needs to ride in on a horse every game.
Filling in for somebody.
Hey, coach, nice horse cock you got there, sir.
Bro.
Okay. Get our cheek.
Back in George Kliavkoff mode.
Okay. Okay.
Know
so,
your role and shut your mouth.
Since we're in Kliavkoff mode, the show's going to come to an end. No, I'm kidding.
You just have to snap out of it a little bit.
Chris Cash says CU is a basketball program. There's a lot of very good coaches and programs in the PAC. To assume Deion is one of the best coaches is laughable. All hat, no cattle, dude. This is your dude right here. This guy right here.
Man,
this
here.
guy right here.
He's
the one. He's like, oh, Deion. Oh, my God, Deion Sanders.
Dude, all day,
oh, my
bro.
God. Oh, my God,
so
Deion.
right now.
Oh, Deion.
His cock.
Oh, Coach Prime. Honey,
Dude, it's not even Friday. What are we doing?
Honey, call me Coach Prime.
Medic.
Oh, honey, let's go to the bedroom. It's prime time. It's prime time.
Who the fuck are you?
Bro. Oh, man.
Oh,
Dude.
my God. Oh, okay, I feel better.
He's not the best coach in the PAC. He's up there, though, in my opinion. In my humble opinion.
No, he's not.
I mean, he's no Lincoln Riley, but he'll do.
You want to die on the hill of...
I know Lincoln's won a bunch of natties, and Lincoln's the best thing that's ever happened out west.
You really want to die on the Deion's one of the best coaches in the Pac-12 hill?
It's better than Buddy at ASU.
No,
he's
he is
better
not.
than Buddy at Arizona.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He look.
You cannot sit here and rip this guy.
Oh, I
and
can.
then tell me
It's my show.
that Dilly at ASU is better, dude. Come on,
Dilly?
bro. Come on, dude. Come on.
Guy, look. I mean,
dude.
Here's your dude.
Yeah.
You want to count the chest hair one by one? Oh, Deion.
Dilly.
Come on, bro.
Let me just explain something to you. Kenny Dillingham is a far more experienced and proven coach than Deion Sanders. I'm not saying that Deion's going to fail. Ask me in 3 years, because that's what it's going to take. Deion Sanders isn't a bad coach.
Dude.
Yes, he will. Deion's not a bad coach. We just don't know if he's a good coach.
Yeah, but I think the hype machine won't give him 3 years. I think he's got 2 seasons tops. I think he's got to be 7-8 wins inside of 2 years, dude.
He might have. I don't know that he's got 22 quality Division I players on his roster. I do. Jesus. Nick Castellanos just went to Jupiter.
Oh, dude.
Good Lord.
Bro, it's the bottom of the ninth, and my guy Castellanos is down 1-0 with a man on first, and my dude just hit this thing to the absolute sky, and it was a foul ball.
Jeez. I don't know. I don't know. Mr. Preston, this show is amazing. I love it. Thank you. All I'm saying is, Deion Sanders, here's a question for all of you football experts.
Deons.
Does the prime time. I will never be able to say, because of you, you dick, I will never be able to say his name correctly now. Coach Prime.
Let me tell you what now.
Prime time. Hey, who's that coach at Colorado? Prime time.
Deion, please.
Prime time.
Deion's like 2-10 in the last week of the year. They're like, hey guys, how you guys feel about Prime? Who's Prime?
Who?
Prime who?
Oh, you mean Prime time. I think they win 3 games this year. And I don't see.
Yeah, 3 games I think it's spot on. I agree.
I think that's the number. I'm literally crying. I laugh so hard. Like, you look at the over-unders from the Pac-12.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, you look at these numbers.
Yeah.
And you look at Colorado right there at the bottom at 3 wins. I think that's spot on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only one that's not spot on is USC. And I'm being serious. If I was Vegas, how do you not put that number at 10? Like, how do you not make people bet on the number 10?
Because 10's really difficult to do. To win 10 games in the Pac-12 is very difficult.
Yeah.
I think they win. I think Prime wins 3 games this year. I think that's it. MH5. Monty's saying prime time. With that audible chocolate, my ears can't get enough. Audible chocolate.
It's smooth.
And donuts. Does Deion make his players purchase Affleck? Nick Saban does. You know. Gary Godoroff. Monty, drink some bucked up and breathe, right? Dude, that's the funny thing is, like, you get the buckshot. I'm telling you, it just gives you energy. I was dragging a little ass before I drank the buckshot. I'm telling you, they work.
Yeah.
In the description below, get 6 free buckshot. It works. Taylor Gilstrap, Coach Prime going to wipe the floor with the Pac-12 this season. Facts.
Okay,
really?
Relax, bro. Relax.
Come on now.
Relax.
Gary says CU goes 2-10 this prime time. Goes small time hype over.
See, and that's what I think he's really at risk. But in all seriousness, I'm telling you, the hype train is going to be rough for this guy after this season because they are going to win 3 games. I mean,
yeah,
I'm the guy that's willing to go out there and say, okay, maybe if the C's part, they could get a 4th game somehow. But you have to get lucky, right? Yeah. 3 wins is the number.
Lopes fan Gabe, if Monty leaves that prime pick up too long, Jake's going to be changing his name to Barry McCockenham.
Bro, did you just say Barry McCockenham? Bro, how?
Hiscock. I need a dick and me.
Holden Middick.
So Jake said before the show, hey, when you put that picture up, can I comb his chest hair?
Jackass.
Dude. Barry McCockenham.
Barry McCockenham.
That is an all-timer.
Barry McCockenham.
Dave's in opposition.
I mean, Barry's a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah.
Kind of lanky, in my opinion, but he's a hell of a nice guy.
You ought to know.
You ought to know.
Can you measure it?
All right, Monty Makes You Money coming up in 20 minutes right here on The Monty Show. Ute softball fan says, any dates coming up, Jake? How's Paige?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she's good. She's good. I just can't. I'm not in a position to talk about it too much. I mean, I have to, keep some level of privacy, but things are good.
Is it love? Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You have Paige, your new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just stark naked in the living room.
Uh-huh.
Coach Prime walks in and he's like, hey, let's go, man.
Nah, I just ask him for his cowboy hat and then ask him to leave.
Hey, man, let me get that hat, Coach.
Let me get that hat.
Hey, Coach, let me get that hat. Can you imagine?
Go back and go and bench press or something,
Can you imagine? Imagine this. I should not put the scenarios in your head. You and your wife are ready to rock and roll. And
Here I am.
And Deion Sanders walks in and he's like, hey, yo, what's up, man? And you're like,
no smoke.
hey, man, can I get that hat? He's like, yeah, sure. And you're like, okay, thanks. And you push him out the door. You turn the deadbolt. And then you just absolutely do some gardening while you're wearing that cowboy hat.
Out of here.
Dude, all hat, no cattle.
You are not.
Would be amazing. Time to turn the page, Jake.
That was nice, dude.
Renee Roca, sorry, babe, it's prime time.
Prime time.
And back down.
Oh, Brandon Butler, Prime, I'm going to need that hat because I'm about to go to the rodeo. Oh, what the hell happened to this show? Jimmy, Prime's cowboy hat is too big for Jake. Oh!
Right.
Riley O'Brien, who will join us at America First Field for RSL on June 10th.
No reset.
The way Monty said, let me ask you something. Something good was coming.
I'm so bricked up right now.
Jet Wayman, the tile king of Utah. If Prime walked in on Jake, Jake would look at him and say, we coming.
That's a good one. Let's go, baby.
I love it. I absolutely love it. By the way, the Phillies tied that game. Toronto Philly tied at 1. My goddamn left fielder, Kyle Schwarber, with an RBI double.
And Bryce comes home. Yeah, hell yeah.
Damn right.
Screw
Bryce Harper.
Toronto.
That's
Screw
right.
Toronto.
Let's see. Salty Victor's the way. Says, I can see Jake sitting outside with a cigarette and Prime's cowboy hat on.
Hey, dude. Don't put it past me.
Feet up on the veranda.
The veranda.
By the way, it was JT Real Muto with the RBI double.
Yeah.
So there you go. CJ Vance, quote unquote, do some gardening. That's right. Gary says Prime knows where to find Jake. Damn right.
Yeah.
All right. The Monty Show presented by the Advocates. Before we talk NFL, you guys, here's a question that we need answers to. On Christmas Day, NFL or NBA? Because did you hear about the NFL schedule? We'll talk all about that after we hear from the Advocates.
I was involved in a hit-and-run accident. My chiropractor recommended me to the Advocates. They completely took care of everything. Now that my case has been settled, I feel like I can go back to my normal life, all thanks to the Advocates.
Yep, make sure you get to theadvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. And again, I tell you every day, the level of empathy, and I'm a huge fan of the word empathy, right? And when you understand what somebody is going through and you can wholly relate to what they're experiencing, it gives you a different level of service ability. That's what you get at the Advocates. Their level of empathy, their desire to serve their clients, it's remarkable. And they do this without asking you to pay a penny up front because you don't pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. UtahAdvocates.com, theadvocates.com. Chat with an attorney live online 24/7. And again, guys, the weather's beautiful. It's all spring and summer. You're on your bikes. You're on your motorcycles and your scooters. Things are going to happen. If you get hit by somebody because they're driving distracted, they ran a stop sign, they rolled through a stop sign, they're on their phone, they're eating their lunch while driving their car, that's not your fault. You didn't deserve that, but you do deserve an advocate at theadvocates.com. UtahAdvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. NFL on Christmas. What do you guys make of this? Because traditionally, Christmas Day has been all NBA.
Yeah. And something that I look forward to greatly.
Big time. Big time. The NFL has now said that they will play games on Christmas. And it is the Giants and the Eagles at 4:30 Eastern. And I just don't love that idea. I don't love that idea. Will you guys watch the NFL or NBA? My guess is if we the Chicago Bears. If the Bears were on Christmas Day, I'd watch the Bears.
Right.
But generally, I am more likely to watch NBA than I am the NFL on Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. Now, we'll see what actually happens when we get there because I'm a huge NFL fan. I think you guys know that if you've watched the show.
And I think, one of the things that I always think about when I think about TV during the holidays, one of the things that I think is so underrated factor-wise is that, hey, like in Salt Lake as an example, hey, it's cold, should be snowing, should be a lot of good food in the fridge. Like, the reality is I don't have to watch one or the other.
Right.
I can watch both. And on one hand, I hate this out of the NFL. On another hand, I love it out of the NFL.
Why do you hate this from the NFL?
Because I just think that as a kid, I grew up, loving NBA on Christmas Day. 4 games. One of my favorite memories as a young teenager was the Kobe LeBron game where LeBron's in Miami Heat and he's wearing Christmas edition LeBrons and Kobe's got the Grinches on and, LeBron throws the off the backboard alley-oop to himself. And that was one of the greatest NBA moments that I remember. And I think, Christmas Day and NBA go together. It just is that way. And just the same way I think about Thanksgiving and NFL football, I think about Christmas and NBA basketball. And that's the tough part is football is always good. And I'm sure I'll watch a bit of that. And I'm glad it's not some terrible matchup. I'm glad they're doing Giants-Eagles. That's a great matchup. Nationally, that's super relevant. But yeah, I'm probably more inclined to watch a Christmas Day game. Now, here's the problem for the NBA. What really is your best matchups for Christmas Day? Because it used to be Lakers-Celtics, or you could put together really easy, logical
But Giants-Eagles
matchups.
Giants-Eagles is a good NFL matchup.
Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying.
But
the NBA's got a counter.
You're gonna need Celtics-Knicks. You're gonna need Lakers-Celtics. You're going to need Lakers-Warriors. You're going to need...
The Pelicans aren't getting it done, dude.
No, you're going to need major markets, Chicago, New York. You're going to need big-name NBA teams to draw people to the TV because, I can tell you on New Year's Day, the fact that you're getting Kansas City and Cincinnati...
It's a hell of a matchup.
That's a hell of a matchup, right? And then on, you're getting Black Friday games, which I think is massive. One of the things I really don't understand, can anybody explain to me this affinity with international games? Because I truly don't understand what the Black Friday, I totally get it. Everybody's off of work, 3 Eastern, we're going to get Dolphins at Jets. It's Aaron Rodgers, Tua Tagovailoa by your mama.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big watch. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But are you really excited for Falcons and Jags in London? For Jags and Bills in London? Ravens and Titans in London? Dolphins and Chiefs in Frankfurt? Colts and Patriots in Frankfurt?
Yeah, well, I think I'm not excited for that, but I think the NFL has made it an initiative to get global with their brand. Because if you think about it, NFL football is not traditionally a global sport. Right?
Sure.
The NBA is a global sport. Soccer's a global sport. Hell, baseball's a global sport, right? Like you have the NHL, hockey is a global sport, no doubt about it. The NFL is the only one of the core four that is not a global game, and that's why I think there's this obsession with global games or international games.
But I mean, this is why the Big 12's going to Mexico.
Precisely.
This is why the Big 12's going to Rucker Park.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, I understand it. I know why we have NBA games in China. I understand why we play MLB games in Japan.
Yeah.
But at some point, I just think you need to put a team in London. Like, I think it's brilliant to have the Jags play back-to-back games in London because it's a test balloon to have a team live there for several weeks. That's probably 3 weeks in London for the Jags, which I don't think is a problem at all, and I actually think it's the right way to do it. Right? You put them in Tottenham, which is just outside of London, and, I mean, I think you feel really good about that.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that no matter what, I think on some level, there's a bias. Is it fair to put the Jags in London for 2 straight games? I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, I think the reality is if you're the Jags, you'd rather have that than just play one and then have to come back and deal with all the time change. I mean, the reality is, like, it used to be that you'd go and play a London game and then you'd have to come home. I mean, we used to talk about the fact that, hey, like with the Cardinals as an example, they would go out to the East Coast a week before and then they'd go to London. And it's like, bro, like, dude, the time change is real. And these guys are not fortunate enough to play a game like golf, let's say, where it's not physically some beating, like it's a physical sport, but you're not getting hit in the face constantly.
Yeah, and I'm curious if the NFL ever becomes a global brand, because I don't view, much like you said, I don't view the NFL as a global brand.
I think in London, it's a big deal now. I think the NFL has grown enough that in London, it's relevant. Now,
but in Mexico,
I don't think it's that relevant. No.
Look at the NBA in Australia.
Big deal.
Look at exactly right. Look at the NBA in Europe, across the continent.
Yeah.
Big deal. China, big deal. Japan, big deal. The Philippines, big deal. Like you look at the NBA. The NBA is a global sport. I look at soccer/football. Soccer is a global brand. It is a global sport. We were watching Inter and AC Milan today on Champions League on CBS, right? It is a global brand. I look at the NFL. And I don't believe it's a global brand. I really don't believe that it's a global brand.
Not yet. But I think that's why you're getting so much of that.
Salty Victor's the way. Why can't they get together and structure time slots so they don't cannibalize both products? I think it's going to be interesting to see, James, because I think that's a really good point.
Because I think that's not how business gets done league for league. They're not trying to help each other. They're trying to dominate the day, right? Like it's become a thing where hey, we're going to have 4 matchups on ESPN, and it's like the Super Sunday for ESPN.
But see, I'm with Jet Wayman, the Tile King of Utah. NBA on Christmas is amazing.
It's
something you really look forward to.
There are a few things, and I know I keep talking about it snowing and like the vibe of Christmas Day, but it's like if you live in a market where you get winter, like there's nothing better than eating leftovers from Christmas dinner and watching your favorite sport on the tube and having it be a cloudy, snowy day and the lights are off and you're just watching it snow and you're watching the game and you don't have to worry about work and you can truly just like chill and like hang out. Like there's nothing better than that, man. And I think people like the NFL doesn't care about that. The NFL just wants to make as much money as possible. But I think if you're a hardcore basketball fan, this NFL thing probably doesn't impact you because you're going to choose the NBA anyway. But I understand why the NFL is trying to do it.
Brandon Butler says the problem I have is that the NBA season doesn't really start till after the trade deadline now. Well, I actually think that's not true because this in-season tournament's going to change that.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that they are going to do more and more, like the way the salary cap is structured, the CBA, load management, like all those things that are changing makes it so that star players have to play and games count because of the guys playing in the game. And so, yeah, sure. After the trade deadline, sure, things get ratcheted up massively. But I think that was one of the reasons that they wanted the All-Star game and the trade deadline swap. And I think they're trying to fix that. And I think a lot of the CBA tweaking they did does fix that. But I also think that there's a lot of guys in the NBA who like playing on Christmas Day because those games are generally showcases.
Yes.
Sean Mierzinski, it's unfair for the Jags to have to play back-to-back London games.
See, I don't know about that, though.
I don't think it's unfair when they stay in absolute luxury in London. The hotels are amazing. They are weighted on hand and foot. If they don't want to leave the hotel, they never have to. The facilities there, they play at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, the facilities are freaking unbelievable. I don't know. I'm just telling you. It's not that arduous.
No.
Tanner Plummer, Super Soaker says, BYU fans will be tuning in for Falcons Jags because of Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
Could be.
I also think on the Jaguars front, like, it needs to be said that they made a lot of progress this year. Getting to the playoffs and doing what they did. Well,
they also hired a hell of a coach.
I know. Yeah, but my point is a brand like the Jags would never even be in this discussion 3 years ago. And yet now they're here. And I think that's what the NFL is trying to capitalize on, that momentum.
Yep, I agree. Spangler, I think you're right. Jags want to move to Europe. They've been doing this for years. I don't think they care about playing back-to-back there. I think it's a great point. Monty Rand says Travis Victor will be on the injury list by Christmas.
Victor's the way.
Won't be breaking any records. Travis, Big Daddy Magic says, you just need to change your name to Victor's the way.
Yeah, can you please just do that,
Travis,
dude?
you just need to change your name. The Buffalo Bills will be the greatest thing to hit London since the Beatles. The Beatles! Did you see Josh Allen hit a softball 50 miles? I mean, that guy can stroke.
Rake.
He strokes more than you do. John Menser. I'm excited for those fans getting a chance to watch NFL in person. It's wild.
Yes.
They love it. Salty Victor's the way. Great point, Jake. NFL is popular, but not global like the NBA in Australia, Mike.
Yeah, but I think that is why you're seeing all of this. Like, the NBA obviously has done some things, some creative international games or whatever, but you're not seeing them in Europe yet, let's say, or you just see these one-off things out of players and national teams and stuff, but I would suspect that the NBA at some point is going to start doing this stuff too.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Lokeman, nothing should be in Jacksonville. Hand purple blue piece.
Okay.
Jacksonville's not a terrible market. Travis says Victor is a universal brand. If there is aliens, they will watch Victor.
Victor's the way.
Well, I don't know what immigration has to do with anything. Brandon Unruh, NFL is more of a global brand than you think, and I don't see why that matters anyways. NFL always tops the TV ratings. No, you're not wrong.
I mean, I don't doubt that they'll get viewership.
Just comparatively speaking, when we're talking about NFL versus NBA, I think the NBA is a far more global brand.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think the funny thing is it's the stuff we don't think about. Like the NHL, by the way, please Edmonton win. The NHL, I think, is a far more global brand than the NFL. I think that if you look at where hockey reaches in the corners of this world, I mean, it's all over Europe, Russia. I mean, hockey is a big, big deal on a large portion of this planet.
Yeah.
American football is not played at a high level anywhere but, America.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. And while I think there's outreach, I think the African, emergence in football is huge. But I also think the African continent also is a huge basketball market.
Yes.
I think the expansion of Basketball Without Borders and NBA Africa and the NBA sponsors a league in Africa. I don't know. I just think basketball is a far more inexpensive sport, and so much of the world is impoverished.
It's accessible, dude.
There you go. Thank you.
It's accessible.
Thank you. That's the word that comes to mind.
Soccer is the most accessible, but NBA is right behind it.
But I also think that Papa Murphy's Pizza is very accessible.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it?
Well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you get the Papa Murphy's mobile app on your phone. Super easy to use. And you guys, if you haven't tried the marinara meatball yet, I think anybody in the comment section that has, you know the greatness of it. You know the greatness of it. It's phenomenal. Use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase at $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Coming up in 2 minutes, it's Monty Makes You Money. Salty Victor's the way. Australia had 55,000 at a USA versus Australia exhibition game a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that Australia is likely one of the most underrated countries in the world.
Yeah.
I truly.
Well, it's such a unique situation. I mean, they're really the only country that's essentially an island setup where you have to import everything and you're just out there. Like,
I think you look at that part of the world and you look at the Fijis and you look at the, I mean, dude,
yeah.
New Zealand. But having been to Australia and Queensland specifically, dude, I love that joint.
Yeah.
I do. And donuts. The Raider game in Mexico City last year was crazy. Tequila, sombreros, the fans went crazy.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yes.
They loved it. Brandon Butler. NFL is an event every week. NBA is every night thing. NFL will always dominate in the U.S.
Agreed.
Totally agree.
Agreed.
Kurt says, I firmly believe Australia doesn't exist. Oh, dude, it does. Trust me, the flight is forever. Forever.
Highly recommend Delta One.
Spangler, Australia is Western, completely untapped.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. All right. This hour of the Monty Show is presented by our good friends at Bucked Up Energy, the official energy drink of the Monty program. Bucked Up, here it is right here. It's been kind of an off-the-rails show because we took some buckshot, friends.
Yes.
Buckshot is where it's at. You guys got to hook it up. I'm telling you, it's clean, long-lasting energy. I absolutely love it. It does not have any notable calories in it because it's clean. It's got things like B12 in it. It is absolutely everything you want. It's not full of sugar. It's got 100 milligrams of caffeine in it, and it just gives you a mental lift. I love them. I want you to try it for free. In the description of this here program below, click the link that says free buckshot. Get 6 of them. Any flavors you want. They'll send them right to your front door for free. Thanks to our friends at Bucked Up for doing that because we are the only ones. We are the only ones that they gave a buckshot free sample to. So our viewers are the only ones that get them. If you're listening on our podcast, hello, Spotify. Do you know our largest? This is kind of crazy. Our largest foreign market on our audio podcast. Anybody want to guess what it is? No guesses.
Philippines? Germany? Your
I don't
mom's
know why
house?
I'm being a dick about it. My mom's house?
Yeah.
My mom's house.
That's a foreign, you know.
Dude, you're baiting me into making some kind of obscene joke about my mom's house.
Where is it?
My mom's house? It's in Los Angeles.
No.
What do you mean?
The
where is
Spotify market.
Where?
You're casual.
It is, in fact, currently this week, Milan, Italy.
Wow.
Crazy. How did that happen?
No idea.
I have no idea. London, England, usually it is. But Milan, the Philippines are very, very close. But we love everybody that listens on Spotify. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you're on Spotify, will you fucking subscribe to the Monty Show on YouTube?
Monty program.
And I love Spotify. We just want everybody on YouTube. Watch the show on YouTube. Just search the Monty Show on Google, and it will all come up. We are close to 17,000 subs.
Please.
Monsters, 16,886. 114 to go.
Let's go.
To get to 17,000, let's hook it up. Monty Makes You Money, thanks to our friends at Bucked Up Energy. I don't know why I'm saying it like that.
Right.
Monty Makes You Money every day. We give you the lines. We give you our locks. When the NBA playoffs are over, I have no idea what we're going to do because baseball, I think, is one of the most difficult sports to bet.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we'll do with baseball, we need to find like a prize kind of thing because we need to do a contest where you pick 3 players, and if one of them hits a home run, you win a prize.
Okay. I mean, we can work on that.
I used to do that way back in the day with DraftKings Daily Fantasy, but they won't even take my phone call now.
Yeah.
Pricks. The Los Angeles Lakers of Los Angeles at the Golden State Warriors of San Francisco. Lakers, Warriors, 8 o'clock TNT. After we tell you about the 2022-2023 Kia All-NBA second team. Are you serious right now? Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry didn't make All-NBA first team. Nikola Jokic, Donovan Mitchell makes NBA All-Second team. Wow. NBA All-First team. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Punchable face. Luka Doncic.
Mm-hmm.
I hate him. Joel Embiid. Oh, James. Josh Giddey did not make All-NBA first team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did. And Jason Tatum goes first team All-NBA. Are you surprised by this at all, Jake?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not quite sure how we're putting Luka in above like a Steph or...
How is Steph... Well, Luka had one of the amazing offensive years.
But
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander instead of Steph Curry.
Yeah. I'm not hating on Buddy. Good for him, man. It is what it is.
I mean, SGA is a hell of a player.
Yeah,
There's no doubt.
he's not Steph Curry. And I think it's unfair to compare him to Steph Curry, as I do think it's unfair to compare many people to Steph.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Salty Victor's the way. SGA, bang. Luka first team? Yes, he is. Joker should have been MVP. No, he shouldn't have. Greg Hawkins, howdy casuals. I had no idea what we are talking about yet, but I heard baseball. More baseball. Dude, you have missed a banger of a show. Monty Rant says, bet against the A's, easy money. Brandon Butler, time to do a Fontecchio segment. Got to keep the Italian.
Victor's the way.
Milan is awesome. They're amazing. They apparently like the Monty Show. Monty makes you money. Lakers at Golden State tonight. Golden State fighting for existence. It's a crisis of existential proportion.
Yeah.
Minus 7.5, 225. There is no way in your right freaking mind that you can bet the Lakers tonight. Somebody talk me out of it. Somebody talk me out of it.
Yeah, if you're betting, you have to take the Warriors to win. And
Were
this
we right
goes
or wrong
over.
last night?
I was right. I took Philly outright.
Right, but what did I tell you about Denver and the Suns?
I think you said Denver.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I took Boston. You were right about Philly.
Yeah.
I think you have to bet. Don't you have to bet Golden State tonight? That number, we were talking to a friend of ours who plays the numbers just casually.
His positions. I mean,
he has positions.
Right.
He has a favorite position too.
Right.
But you look at this game, and if you're going to bet this game, how do you bet the Lakers to win this game? But here's a question for you. Can they cover the 7.5?
I think they can win this game, in my opinion. If you're betting, you got to take the Warriors, but I think the Lakers can win this game. And I think the reason for that is because the Warriors are incredibly disorganized or unorganized.
But isn't Kuminga getting a shot tonight?
Yeah, but is he
doesn't he
make
get a
some
shot?
Difference? Is Kuminga?
I don't know. His attitude has been dog shit, and that's why he hasn't played.
But this is what I'm saying. Like Kuminga, Poole, like you got a couple of guys on that team who have just dog shit attitude, and then it's like, oh well, you're surprised when you lose these games. It's like, bro, like.
Well, I don't think they're surprised at all, but I don't see any way that you play Jordan Poole significant minutes tonight because he's been an absolute pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Right. So you know that. And I think the issue becomes, but this is my point. Like, I think you are fighting for your lives tonight. Now, I would tell you if I was putting my money on this, I would bet the Lakers. I have trouble seeing the Warriors winning by more than 7.5. But I'm telling you to bet Golden State in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will tell you, you need to buy down the 7.5. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that's a massive number, in my opinion. But here's the official pick of the game. I think you take Golden State to win and the Lakers to cover, and I don't see any way it doesn't go over. I don't think you can bet the under in this game. I think Golden State wins, the Lakers cover, it goes over. 225.
Man, I want to take the Lakers so bad, dude.
I just don't know how. I don't know. And listen, their defense has been unbelievable.
Yeah, I think you can count on Steph Curry for a 40-point night. I don't think you can count on anyone else, including Klay Thompson. And I think that's what I have trouble with in this game. But I would agree. It's at home. Logically speaking, you got to take the Warriors. So, yeah, I guess my pick is going to be Warriors. You know, yeah, same as you.
Warriors
Lakers
win,
cover.
Lakers cover, 225 over under.
But I'm telling you, tomorrow on the program, if we're talking about a Lakers victory, don't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I think it's one of the more difficult games. I cannot see Golden State going out 4-1. I would be stunned.
I wouldn't be, dude. I don't think they have the it factor anymore. Steph is still really a damn good player. And Klay is too hit or miss now. And I'm not saying I'd trade the guy, but he's not the same guy he was. And that's just a fact, I feel like. And the problem is Draymond can be the best he can be. He's not a big enough factor anymore. Jordan Poole's nothing. You know, Kuminga just isn't ready for the moment. And Gary Payton II can do what he does, but he's a role player. They don't have enough to beat the Lakers.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's just a really tough game, in my opinion. Jet Wayman, Lakers might close it out. I'm staying away from betting this game.
Agreed.
I would too.
Yeah.
I would too. Jet, I think that's a great point. Spangler, Denver going to win the ship.
Bro.
Spangler, and listen. I know you probably fell down a lot as a kid, Spangler.
Out of here.
Yeah, I understand it. You fell down a lot. You know, concussions are a real thing. But open the garage door before you start the car. Because when you say things like Denver's going to win the ship, did you see their stupidity last night? Like, you're at home and you are railing my R&We, the Phoenix Suns, and the Sex Machine.
Straight pipe, homie.
What is Jamal Murray doing messing around with Landry Shamet? Why is Bruce Brown trying to get into the huddle and get a technical foul? Like, this is so stupid. And again, I like call me Michael Malone.
Michael.
But that team lacks a certain level of professionalism. You're getting a balls-out performance out of Aaron Gordon, and you want to go mess with the Suns huddle. Like, it's just so stupid.
Yeah, I just didn't understand it. And the broadcast was like, oh, well, technically, Monty Williams is on the floor. They're not in a huddle on the bench. And I was like, dude, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, come on.
Come on.
Be better.
Salty says, I like the Lakers to cover the 7.5. They will want to close out the rest of their guys, or rest. They will want to close out to rest their guys.
Agreed. I don't know. I just think defensively the Lakers are so locked in, and LeBron is so prepared. I mean, we may have caught that one play that he was ready for and had seen.
Oh, it's like 5
but
plays.
I'm telling you, yeah, it's way more than that. I mean, LeBron has one of the highest basketball IQs in the game. And I know he's not exactly the same guy anymore, but that doesn't mean the brain turned off. And as long as you have him on your team and you're prepared, there's no reason why you can't go out and win a game that maybe you're a big underdog in.
Brandon Butler, Lakers are going to have an off night. They will win it at home. Warriors are going to throw their best punch tonight and get a rope-a-dope or in the next game. I don't disagree with that. Spangler says Monty with a good pick. Taylor says Luka is phenomenal. SGA in OKC with all these young, talented players. It's amazing the potential and shift in the league for a dynasty team in the coming decades. Dude, you're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. Taylor also says never bet against LeBron. Lakers take it. Spangler, LeBron seems like the dad on the court. Everything that happens goes through him. I don't disagree. Michael Peck, whoever comes out of the West wins the chip. Have to agree. Man, Boston's disappointing.
Yep.
Right?
They're not a championship team, and I would not pay Jaylen Brown a supermax now that he's eligible.
Well, he's eligible for a supermax, Jaylen Brown. Jet, the Towel King of Utah. In fact, I'm staying away from both games because the Heat might close it out too. God, I hate Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, fat ass.
Greg Hawkins says today's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, bro.
Who cares? Who cares? He says I turned 30 today.
You turned 30, you're having a kid, you bought a house. Like, cool, dude. We get it. Congrats, dude. That's awesome. Love it.
How's your life, Greg?
Yeah, how's things, dude?
Yeah, I hope you're well. Happy birthday, buddy.
You going to get in on this RSL thing or what?
Better. Greg doesn't want to go to RSL. He don't want to go. Happy birthday, Greg, Monty Rant says. Take that back at Monty Rant. Why? Greg's a good dude. It'll be cool to see the Sixers win it all. Nah, bro.
Nah.
Happy Dirty 30. Happy birthday, Greg. Happy birthday, Greg. Thanks, casuals. When are we going to get some sushi or something, Greg? Well, you know. Congrats on 30. Welcome to the real life. Yeah, by the way, it's over. Don't blink or fart because bad things will happen and you'll be 50. Trust me. Trust me. It goes by so fast, Greg. Jeez.
Yeah.
Mama hate at the New York Knickerbockers.
There's only one way to pick this game, bro.
Yeah, you got to go with the Heat.
Yeah.
Okay. Monty makes you money.
Yep.
Don't you have to go with the Heat? Like the Knicks quit. Julius said it. The Knicks quit on this game, on this series.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Yeah, I would, Julius. A, the Knicks are done.
It's a soft person tendency.
B, if you had Donovan Mitchell, this would not be a series. You'd be moving on. Screw you.
Just take the can of gas and just don't even slowly. Just dump the whole thing on at once.
Right. Yeah, you're taking the Heat. Yeah. That's the only way to bet this game. That's the only way. What's wrong with Kevin Durant?
I don't know, dude.
You know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. He has not been the same guy.
Is that why you're so hard on Deion? Because you're just like, I'm here for it.
Let's settle this right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, hit the like button. We're 10 away from 200, please. That would be amazing. What's wrong with Kevin Durant? Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like he's been more in his groove. I felt like he looked more normal, but he doesn't have that ability to take over games. And I think the problem is ultimately they don't have offensive flow. DeAndre Ayton kills them on a regular basis. I think him and Book are better than him and Kyrie were. But the problem is that DeAndre Ayton continues to start, and I don't understand it. I would not start DeAndre Ayton. And in fact, so much to the point that I'd be looking to trade him this offseason. And I think that DeAndre Ayton can piss and moan and can not want to dap it up with CP3 and can be a child on the bench. But the reality of the situation is you're a negative player, dude. You are a negative player that doesn't want to play defense. And Jock Landale, dude.
Seriously.
Buddy can play. He works his ass off. He may not be as offensively polished as DeAndre is, but he works hard, man. And I can rely on him for a good physical screen. I can rely on him for a jumper. I can rely on him for some touch around the rim. But he plays defense. And the problem is that DeAndre Ayton is such a negative player defensively, especially against Jokic, that you can't really play him. And the conversation isn't like, oh, well, he's got to stop Jokic. Nobody's stopping Jokic or Embiid or any of these high-level players. But you can't have the guy running the entire game against you. That just isn't going to work. So what's wrong with Kevin Durant? Yeah, I think that he's not the same guy he was right now. I think he's probably lost a little flow. And I think DeAndre Ayton kills their team on a regular basis. And I don't want to hear about, oh, well, CP3 might come back and he was shooting jumpers today. I'm over guys who want to do it in practice and not do it in a game.
I would agree with that. And Kurt Peters, I disagree. Age is what's wrong with Kevin.
Nah.
Has he had bad shooting nights? Sure. Is he still getting to the rim? He is. Is he running the break? He is. Is he playing elite defense? He is. I don't think he's slowed down. I think Landry Shamet is not a good NBA player. I think DeAndre Ayton is a complete, utter embarrassment and failure as a player. DeAndre Ayton, and I don't know how else to say it. DeAndre Ayton doesn't want to compete in this series. DeAndre Ayton's done. He wants to be on the beach. He wants to be on vacation. DeAndre Ayton's season's over. And he shows us that on a nightly basis. And with all due respect, if you're any kind of center in this league and you're going head-to-head with Nikola Jokic and you're not motivated and you don't play hard and you take these stupid ticky-tack soft-ass fouls, you're humiliating yourself.
Soft person tendency.
Go play with the Pacers. Go play with the Rockets. Go get soft. Go play somewhere where the games aren't a consequence because you're getting all-world performances out of Sex Machine and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then there's DeAndre Ayton who just doesn't give a damn. And it's baffling to me that if you are the Phoenix Suns and Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Suns, how do you not move on from this guy?
And it used to be that his ineptitude could hide because they weren't a good enough team, right? Like before they went to the finals, as an example. Oh, yeah, DeAndre Ayton can't catch the ball. That wasn't any kind of secret. But he wasn't the reason that they were like losing or not getting to where they needed to be. And now it's just gotten so much worse because his attitude sucks. And this goes back to last year. Now it's here this year. Like, I have to say, unfortunately, at some point, fool me once, fool me twice type thing. This is on the Suns, not on DeAndre Ayton.
Tanner says Ayton is not as soft as Rudy. See, but
I disagree.
I think Rudy wants to block every shot.
Yeah.
I don't think DeAndre Ayton wants to play defense. I just don't think so. I think if you said to DeAndre, hey, man, here's a stool, kick it out of the way when we're on the way back down, okay? He'd sit under his own basket and, like, he has the guy, and I've been saying this for years, and I know that people at Arizona, a players program, get all pissed when I said this back at the shitty radio station in Scottsdale. This is a bust. And again, tell me that I'm wrong now. You're telling me that DeAndre Ayton's not a bust. He's the reason you didn't win one NBA championship, and now he's the reason you're not going to get back to the Western Conference Finals. Because when they lose this series, there's no more of this, Devin Booker doesn't want to be double-teamed.
You guys remember DeAndre Ayton was a number 1 overall pick, right?
He's a bust.
Like, we remember all that, right?
Now, is he Anthony Bennett? He's not. But what I'm telling you is you have two of the best players in the world in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. You knew who Chris Paul was. He wasn't going to be there. You knew that.
Yeah.
But you re-signed DeAndre Ayton believing you could count on him. That's a you problem.
It's not the best situation, and we all know that.
But I was just going to say, and let's not put all of this on Monty Williams, because Monty Williams is a hell of a coach. This is a problem where you are finally getting caught because Cam Payne is your backup point guard. You're getting caught because Landry Shamet. And furthermore, and this is probably way too fucking far into it, but if we're really telling the truth, you're not blaming this on Cam Johnson. You're blaming this, or on DeAndre Ayton, you're blaming this on Cam Johnson. Because those are the guys you miss. You miss Mikal Bridges. You miss Cam Johnson.
James Jones is who should be bearing the responsibility of this.
But see, and here's the issue, though. I'd have made the Kevin Durant trade every single day. Who would have said no to the Kevin Durant trade?
Nobody.
But here's the issue. You made the Durant trade, and you just thought these other dudes, what, was it a rising tide raises all shitty players? Because that's the only thing that I think you got here.
I am?
Right? Like, Kevin Durant is still that dude.
Yeah.
The ankle injury, like whatever, knee, Achilles, your mom, like whatever it is, right? He's still that dude.
Yeah.
Devin Booker has never played at a higher level than he is right now. It's everybody else below them because you have nobody else. Jock Lawndale, with all due respect, Jock Lawndale shouldn't be your best center on your roster when you're thinking about winning a championship. He can't be, but guess what? Jock Lawndale is the best center on the Suns.
Sorry, folks, that's what it is.
Jerk off.
It's really disappointing.
Let's see. Brady Cook. Some guys can't buy into the system. I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that there's a video of LeBron that goes around Instagram every couple of months where I don't remember when it was in his career, but LeBron was talking about in this video how you can either play a role or you cannot be on an NBA team.
Correct.
And I think it's so true. Like, if you think about people's past, and I think this applies to Ayton big time, especially with his attitude. DeAndre Ayton was the best player on his team for his entire life. And then he gets to the NBA and he's no longer the best player on his team. And it's like, hey, dude, you have a role to play. And frankly, your role is not that difficult. Catch the basketball, finish around the rim, rebound, run to the other rim. That's it. That's all you have to do. Play some defense. Like,
that's it.
We're not asking you to solve world hunger here. And DeAndre Ayton likes DeAndre Ayton too much, and he's not willing to just play his role. And I've always found this really interesting. And maybe it's because I don't have the perspective of being paid as much money as these guys are paid, right? Totally understand that. But it's beyond me that some guys in the league, like Ayton, can't say to themselves, okay, ooh, man, got through the negotiations with Phoenix, I got paid, let me just go and do my job.
Because, no. Big paydays don't change guys. They expose guys.
Yeah.
Right? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
DeAndre Ayton didn't become a better player and a harder worker because he got paid. We found out he's really not that hard of a worker who still can't catch the ball and doesn't want to play defense. Like, you look at this graphic right here. Nah, bro, I'm not doing it. I'm not paying these dudes supermax contracts. And by the way, that also goes for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, the problem is I don't think you have a choice with Tatum.
There is not a chance in the world that I am paying Jaylen Brown $295 million. I'm not doing that. And the good news is that Tatum's got another year before he can sign that deal. And if I'm going to sign only one or two of them, it's going to be JT. I want nothing to do with Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I think the guy has just some really, really soft tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Jaylen Brown's a guy that wants to be, he's that guy that's like, oh, I'm the best in the business, but Jason Tatum gets all the love.
Soft person tendency.
Because you're not the best in the business. And the minute you hand him $295 million, that's the longest 5 years of your life.
Yeah.
Of your life. There's no way. In my opinion, this is one of the worst things to happen to the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
That you are going to pay those guys that kind of bread.
But I think you're also, I don't know that guarantees they have to pay Jaylen Brown. I think it's a choice. It's a choice, dude.
Dude, he's eligible right
Listen
now.
To me. It's a choice. And everyone loves to buy into this idea. Oh, well, once they become eligible, you have to sign them. They didn't need to sign DeAndre Ayton, but they did. You don't need to sign Jaylen Brown, but you will. Right? Like, it's a choice. And I don't think you have a choice with Tatum. Tatum is a must-have guy.
Dude.
Like, you got to have him. But Jaylen,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it with Jaylen. I'm not doing it.
I can swallow that with JT.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. I am not doing that with Jaylen Brown.
No, I just don't think that the return's not there.
And by the way, this will probably piss a good swath of people off, but how much does this team miss Ime Udoka?
Well,
because
that's a whole nother piece.
This team lacks leadership.
Hey, you want to talk about getting exposed?
This team lacks smarts, coaching, leadership, tenacity, toughness.
Want to. All
the things that Ime Udoka. Now, he also diddled his coworker, which you just can't do that. And no. So you had to fire him. They miss Ime Udoka.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what he did was right, but maybe
you want to talk about extensions?
But
extensions, bro. Did we just hold hands, bro?
Hey,
dude, bro. Whoa.
Maybe they need JJ Redick.
Yeah.
JJ Redick interviewed for the head coaching job in Toronto. Would you hire him?
Yeah.
I would hire him as an assistant. I would not hire him as a head coach.
Oh, please. Dude, JJ Redick has experience. The
what?
Raptors are not a big enough.
As what?
You always go down this road.
He was a great ball player. He was a great ball player. He's been exposed to some really good coaches. Is JJ Redick anything different than Steve Nash?
I don't know. Give him a chance.
Yeah? Yeah, I don't know about that.
You're the Toronto Raptors. You're not the Lakers, dude.
I don't know about that. Yeah. Tanner Plummer. Just past America First Field on the train. Such a beautiful stadium. No, it's not. No, it's not. Brady Cook. Guys need to win championships before they get paid to prove they are worth the money. Good luck with that. Brandon Butler. Sometimes you need to let a player walk and get nothing back. Some contracts are toxic. Rudy Gobert. Tracks Tanner, Gary says. You're a front runner, Gary, is what Tanner said.
See what he did there. See, again, another choice. The Joe Mazzulla contract. Why did you extend him? Why?
Yeah. Jet Wayman. I love JJ. Would hire him as an assistant to see what he's made of. Yes. Spangler. JJ Redick is a basketball encyclopedia. Yes. Nash had to deal with some big personalities. JJ won't in Toronto. But then we don't get the old man in a 3 podcast anymore.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
It's a good show. That's a good show. All right. 5:30.
Guess we should turn on the old TNT here.
Yeah, TNT. Right after you fire up the Traeger smoker that you got at Barbecue Pit Stop. Barbecue Pit Stop. You hear that name? The best barbecue equipment in the business. Logan, Layton, Lehigh, Payson, the GZ, And our friends up in Salt Lake City, State Street and Murray, right across from the mall. Any other stores, you guys, great people to do business with. Anybody you talk to online, because I know now we're a national show. I love that our online partners, guys like Bucked Up, guys like The Advocates, guys like Barbecue Pit Stop, guys like Papa Murphy's Pizza, they're getting business from all over the country straight from the Monty Show. Hook it up at bbqpitstop.com. Listen, they've got great cuts of meat for you. They have got rubs, sauces, spices, seasonings. bbqpitstop.com. Tongs. Look, mom needs an apron. BarbecuePitstop.com. Mom needs a new smoker cover. BarbecuePitstop.com. Mother's Day, Father's Day, you name it. They've got you covered. Oh, by the way, if you're cooking for Mother's Day and you're not quite sure how long to leave that brisket or that tri-tip on the smoker, bbqpitstop.com. Chat with them live online.
Facts.
They'll talk you through it. Hey, by the way, how long do I need to let this, tri-tip brine? Hey, I'm going to do wings, but I've got a tri-tip in there. Can I turn it up to do the wings, or should I? bbqpitstop.com.
Mm-hmm.
The experts, the best service, the best dudes, the best equipment in the barbecue business. Barbecue Pit Stop. bbqpitstop.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it. On the Monty program, Spangler says, good night, fellas. Off to watch my Knicks get crushed. Spangler! They are going to
have a positive outlook, bro.
They are. Doing a Santa Maria tri-tip for Mother's Day. Can't wait.
Boom.
Let's go, Kurt Peters. Let's go. What are you guys doing for Mother's Day? My wife, I offered her like the $1,000 freaking dinner. Like I offered her like full steak dinner. I offered her like the champagne and all of the trimmings brunch. She's like, nah, dude, let's just stay home. We'll get some of that bread. What's that bakery, the German bakery on 106th? Oh, my God.
Hold on. Let me look it up. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember it. There's this little German bakery. It's not so little. On 106th, right there in South Jordan, I think it is. And it's just amazing. It is so good. We're gonna get some cinnamon bread. We're gonna make some French toast. We're gonna make some eggs. We're gonna make some kielbasa before we get out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome, dude. It is gonna be fantastic. And I cannot wait. Now I have to look it up. We should call
Harvest bread?
No.
Schmitz?
No. Is it
Biscotts?
Schmitz? D's Nuts?
No, it's not These Nuts. I can confirm.
I can't remember the name of it.
Great Harvest Bread Co.?
It's so Schmitz Pastry Cottage.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Schmitz Pastry Cottage. Yes, it is, in fact. Schmitz Pastry Cottage.
Yeah.
Kurt Peters says, bright side, and you're invited. Let's go. Gustafson's, no. Schnitzels, no. Taylor says, awesome. Can I stop by for Mother's Day? Taylor, you can, he said. I got you on coleslaw and twice-baked potatoes.
Yes.
Coleslaw.
Replace your coleslaw with mac salad, dude. Come on.
Oh, my God.
Do mac salad, not coleslaw.
Mac salad, dude.
Bro. Come on.
Gigatay! Did I hear correctly that Tanner, the super soaker, would know how long to brine the tip?
Wow. That is well done, sir.
And it's so apropos of this show today.
Well done, bro.
It is so apropos of what this show has been today.
That is proper.
Callahan. Jeremy Callahan, what's up, my guy? German potato salad. No, dude. Potato salad in general, I love it.
It's not potato salad. It's potato.
Did I say potato?
You did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You said potato salad. Twice.
Yeah.
Not potato. Potato.
Oh, fuck off. Like, are we really? You're really going to bust my balls?
I'm not busting your. I was agreeing with you. I said it's potato salad. You don't say potato.
Close your eyes real quick.
Why? I don't understand why you're upset about this. I agree.
You're breaking balls, dude. Kurt Peters, I make my family's 100-year-old kielbasa recipe. Monty Show in Denver, and Jake can taste my sausage.
Wow.
Look at me.
Bro. Tanner, oh, by the way, Monty, if you think America First Field is garbage, then I will gladly take your spot at the June 10th game.
Because it's garbage.
I didn't say it was garbage.
It's not a field,
It's not
dude.
like a shrine.
It's not a stadium.
German,
it's a ground.
Jeremy Callahan, German potato salad, spelled P-U-T-A-Y-T-A salad. Potato salad. Thank you. Is definitely an acquired taste. I don't hate it. Potato salad. That's how I say
That's
it, too.
what I'm saying. It's potato salad, bro. It's not potato.
Taylor says it's tater salad.
Taters.
Hey, taters!
Hey, Deion, you got some taters?
Yeah! I don't know. I have no idea what that was. All right, speaking of food, you guys, can we talk? Where do we want to go here? Do we want to do Tucker Carlson running for president? You're not feeling that?
No, I want to do Super Dog, dude. Come on.
Costco food court.
Oh, yes. I want to talk about this, too.
All right, do we have Costco food court fans?
Who's not a Costco food court fan?
The a-holes that shop at Sam's Club.
Dude, like, okay, first of all, who,
that has
who
the same
shops
food court
at Sam's Club, dude?
Stupid-ass question.
Come on, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Boom. Out of here.
Hell out of here with Sam's Club.
You cannot shop at Sam's. Boom. Out of here.
Boom. Out of here.
Do you guys remember that? Brett Myers?
You're filling in for somebody.
Melting down on a reporter in spring training.
Stupid-ass question.
Boom. The guy. So Brett Myers is. I wish we had the full rant, but Brett Myers is sitting in front of his locker, and he had given up 2 bombs in spring training.
Yeah.
And the conversation essentially goes, "Hey," the reporter says, "Hey, do you think both of those were out of here?" And Myers is like, I made a couple of good pitches, and they just put the bat on the ball. They went over the wall. And Brett Myers looks back at the reporter. Is like, wow, you thought they crushed him? He's like, first one, no, but second one, yeah. And Brett Myers goes, yeah, because you don't know shit about baseball. You're filling in for somebody.
Filling in for somebody.
It's amazing, bro.
Yeah, because you don't know shit about baseball.
It's absolutely one of the best.
Because you're filling in for somebody. And it's true. The guy was filling in for somebody that day because the beat writer was off.
Stupid-ass question.
And the guy's like, boy, you're real classy, aren't you? And Brett Myers basically drops a R-bomb on him like you have brain damage. And it just went haywire, dude.
Out of here.
And Brett Myers says to him, go on. Boom. Out of here. Go on.
Out of here.
Boom. Out of
We
here.
may have to play that. Maybe Fridays need to become like the rant of the day or something. That's one of the great all-time
What's his
rants.
name today from the Howard Stern show, the actor? What's his name?
Oh, Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport. Oh, my God. Rappaport melted down today. Anyway, we got lost. Costco food court. First of all, in the comments, Costco or Sam's Club.
Right.
Because we want to know who we need to block.
Boom. Out of here.
Yeah. Tanner Plummer, wait. Tucker Carlson's running for president?
Don't. Please don't. We don't need that energy in here today.
Ain't ducking, no smoke.
Jeremy Callahan, revisiting the uterus fart thing would even be better than Tucker Carlson. You said uterus fart. Which is phenomenal. Taylor says, comment him. Taylor says, love the hot dogs. Kurt Peters says, Costco dogs are legit. The pizza is always good at Costco. Mrs. Monty loves it. Travis, Victor is the way bird. Is Papa Murphy's pizza really good? Yes.
Yes, dude, it is.
Yes.
Victor's the way.
Kurt Peters, I don't know. Costco pizza gives me the bubble gut.
Yeah, because it's greasy.
I don't do Costco pizza.
Yeah, it's greasy.
Kurt
That's the
Myers
problem.
says Costco.
Yeah.
Get the boom out of here. Drop ready.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Tanner Plummer, pop quiz. RSL is playing tonight.
Boom. Out of here.
Taylor, didn't Costco founder refuse to raise hot dog prices a few years ago and took a hit on their sales over COVID because he said it's the principle? He did.
He did, yeah.
He did.
Yep.
Now, here's the best part about this, and the reason that we're talking about Costco food court is bringing back chopped onions.
Yes! Boom.
So, speaking of the cocoa, they had stopped serving chopped onions in the food court at Costco because it was a dispenser.
Right.
And it was open air and it was open to the public and people were like,
the coronavirus.
Some fungus, right? Okay.
Some fungus.
We won't serve them anymore. So now what they're going to do is bring them back, but you're going to have to request them, and they'll come in a pre-serving, pre-dispensed thing, a little cup.
Package.
And so you can get chopped onions for your hot dog at Costco.
I'm a big fan of raw white onion on my hot dog.
Give it to me raw.
Right.
Raw chopped
Oh my God, just like that.
Raw chopped white onions is where it's at. Relish, ooh, yes. What makes a good hot dog? Because Superdog in Chicago, 75 years old today.
Incredible. Look at that joint.
Chicago hot dogs are all about Superdog.
Yeah.
I grew up at Superdog. I have vivid memories of my mother and my dad taking me to Superdog. It's one of those ones where you drive in, they bring your stuff out on roller skates. You order two Superdogs. Yes, you want the green tomatoes. Yes, you want the tomatoes. Yes, you want the French fries.
Yes.
And you just sit there and you eat that greatness.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And it's the best hot dog you'll ever have. It comes in a square box, and it's a hot dog packed in crinkle cut French fries.
Doing it right.
And it just moved a little bit thinking about it.
Yeah, dude.
And
I feel like you don't get this kind of service the way you do, like Superdog service is excellent.
Stay hard.
It is excellent. And I love Superdog. So what's a good hot dog? To me, I think a good hot dog on the regular every day, because Superdog's not something you do every day. On the regular, the Costco hot dog is a great hot dog. Yeah. I think it's got to be a Vienna hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
But the bun makes the entire thing.
It's got to be a sesame seed bun, dude.
It makes the entire thing, and you need to boil the hot dog. Boiled hot dogs, the best in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Steamed warm buns, the best in the business. Little ketchup, little relish, tomatoes, chopped onions.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't ask me to take the picture
you
down.
You can't leave the picture up that long,
That's
bro.
Superdog.
Nah, dude, you can't do that, dude.
So, I'm telling you, Taylor says, give it to me raw. It's a prime time, baby. It's prime time.
Ain't no reset.
You're never getting away from that. Salty Victor's the way he says, you like some crunch on your sausage, Jake?
Yeah, dude, I do. Yep, not a big pickle guy, but I'll take a pickle on a sausage.
$1.50 for the dog. Onions are free. Load it up. Damn right. Maury?
Dude, okay. I'm just going to have to dial it up on you, bro.
This is like, well, I wear a blue hat and it's half red because I like BYU and Utah.
Boom. Out of here.
I shop both Sam's and Costco.
You're filling in for somebody.
Costco's food court has much better selection overall, but I like Sam's Pizza much more than Costco. However, Sam's has nothing on Costco's chicken bake.
Boom. Out of here.
I am not a Costco pizza guy. I used to be, but it's so greasy. Like, you literally have to dry the grease off. It's gross.
It's not good.
But Mrs. Monty love that shit, man.
Dude, chicken bakes? I'm about that chicken bake life,
she
bro.
Love that. I like chicken bakes, too.
Bomb.
But I'll tell you some of my favorite items at Costco real quick before we get to Tucker. We got these burritos at Costco the other day.
Dude.
I'm so bricked up right now.
I don't even know, like, are they vegan or vegetarian? I don't know, and I don't care. They are superb.
Bomb.
The drumsticks that are pre-cooked, they're right by the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
The shrink-wrapped rotisserie chicken that's pre-chopped, so good.
Dude.
But the street taco kit,
so
good.
Top tier, bro.
Oh, so good.
Top tier.
And Mrs. Monty and I cook a lot now. Like, we pretty rarely eat out anymore. And I got to tell you, when she makes those tacos, like, she'll make the meat and the black beans. We'll make black beans. It comes with some of that creme fraiche sauce. And I'll heat the tortillas up on a flat iron. And, dude, it's one of the best meals we have every day.
Yes.
Every day. Jeremy Callahan. Sam's Pizza versus Costco Pizza. It's this kind of, isn't this kind of like the argument of the CW versus Ion for the Pac-12 media rights partner? I really think it is. I think it is. I think it is.
Questions.
Every time I hear Victor's the way.
Victor's the way.
The Star Wars geek in me hears this is.
Gotta be fucking kidding me.
Can we listen?
This is an Uncle Monty moment. Let me get the. Here we go.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, hello, Mark Hamill. Come on in. Can we just get through one show without? Hey, bro. This week on The Mandalorian,
I am your father.
Baby Yoda was nude, and I liked it. Just one day without fucking Nemo, without Mandalorian, one day without. Oh, hey, man, dude, bros, did you see on the Lord of the Rings?
Hey guys.
Like,
hey guys.
So, look, Harry Potter was talking to Schmeagol. Harry Potter was talking to Schmeagol.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
And the Schmeegs was telling him, look, Baby Yoda is refusing to put on his diaper.
That's some prime energy.
And he's got, and listen, he's got mud butt.
Mud butt.
So if you want to get your Millennium Falcon out of here, now's a really good time. Because I got to tell you, the spray chart for Baby Yoda mud butt, it's all over the place. And I'm just one Schmeeganator. There's only so much I can do. Now, if you want to go down the way and look in the toilet and talk to Nemo.
Here I am.
He's on the East African interchange.
It's the East Australian current, bro.
You're filling in for somebody.
The East African interchange?
Just one show. Can we get through one show without without Tanner being like, hey, guys. Like, look, I'm on the front runner, and I paid the conductor to get me home early because the Mandalorian, goddamn. Look, I'm going to put on my Mandalorian underoos, and I'm watching the premiere. And the real problem is, Real Salt Lake plays tonight, but the Mandalorian and the Baby Yoda and shit. Well, by the way, guys, Schmeagol's a better midfielder than Jimmy Neutron was.
Jackass.
One day.
Schmeeganator.
One day. No Mandalorian. No Star. Okay, so, and it's a legitimate question. And I know you guys stick to sports, but legitimate question. Lightsaber or lightsaver? Go.
Wow.
So look, I was just chilling talking to Schmeagol. I don't know any other characters, or I would pick another.
Frodo.
Well, Frodo, what a fucking prick that guy is. So I'm trying to eat my lunch, right? And I had just plucked this weed out of the ground because I was hungry. And Big Daddy Magic and I were hanging out.
Victor's the way.
And then Frodo showed up and took Big Daddy Magic's hose.
Victor's the way.
And now all of a sudden I'm stuck with Big Daddy Magic showing me all these pictures on his phone of all these guys he's met.
Boom. Out of here.
And I'm just like, where's Schmeagol?
Okay,
I'll stop. Carlos Knuckles. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pac-12 folds. Thank you. That's fine. Tanner, this actually the first time I've mentioned Star Wars on the show since like last week. No, since like last hour. Hey, man, I'm just curious. X-Wing fighter or the Batmobile? Go. Which one you going with?
Hey, look here, man.
Darth Vader or Bane? Only one of them can win. It's a death match on Apple
and we
TV
were saying
Plus.
That.
Can I get a discount code? I downloaded The Mandalorian. I should get Real Salt Lake Soccer for free.
The Monty program.
And by the way, on the front runner, I was talking to this, well,
hey guys.
Frankly, she was unattractive. Every branch on the way down, but I don't judge people. Anyway,
fucking A.
I was talking to this person, and she was telling me that I had said on the Monty Show last week that you guys need to do an RSL podcast.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
And
You're not that guy.
I said, I'm the executive producer of the show. I'll hook it up for you, hotness. Okay.
All right.
Monty rant. Tanner, you're a soccer fan. You're not an American. Exactly.
He's just a hack.
Jeremy Callahan. You can talk about this for a good half hour. Oh, I could go forever.
Pause, bro. Pause.
Forever and ever. Tanner, yes, this was the first time I've mentioned Star Wars since last week. Now listen, you fucking prick. I take notes of the show. I talked about RSL and Big O Tires at the 1 hour and 26 minute and 41 second mark yesterday.
And go ahead and try me then.
And it is true. It is true. I got distracted. I was shopping for, tidy whities on my phone.
Did you have to put your ID in?
But here in Utah, you have to put your photo ID in the shop for tidy whities.
Do something for me.
And, I might have lost it, but I know I didn't talk about Star Wars. But while we're on the subject, Baby Yoda or Nemo? Who's the better kid? Go.
That's right, T.
You only get one child. Baby Yoda. I can't even say it with a straight face. Circle of Life or the original Star Wars theme? Go. Which one's a better song?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay, I should stop. Mr. Preston says reset. Ain't no reset.
Ain't no reset.
Guys, look. I went back and checked the show log.
Here I am.
Did I keep everything? Now I went back.
I'm for real.
Oh, Ute softball fan. Can we mute Tanner for a week? No,
Oh, dude, he's one of the best parts of the
Why would
show,
we do
dude.
that?
Hold on. Wait, don't go to the next comment. I need to.
What?
Hold on.
Question.
What kind of question is that, dude?
Boom. Out of here.
It's a long question.
Did you really not get it? This
You're
is
filling in for
fucking
somebody.
gold. Now, guys, you better not ban me. Because if you do, I will break into the Zag Club on June 10th. Because
I hope it won't come to that.
I don't want to. But I'll take my lifesaver and I will break in there. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah,
fucking vernal equinox.
I'm on the front runner with the not so hot chick. But listen, I don't even know where to go. I should stop. Kurt Peters, Monty on one today. Ease up on the buckshot. Buckedup.com, promo code Monty. Salty, Monty, you're a lead on the Tanner impersonation. Tanner says, and you wonder why I think you hate Star Wars, Monty.
Wow, Dad. Wow.
Monty, look, you and I. Monty, you and I have been friends for a really long time.
It's probably different than what you're thinking, though.
And I don't get emotional very often. But you're saying things and it's making me think you don't like Star Wars. And if you don't like Star Wars, we can't be friends. I don't like Star Wars. Well, what about Lord of the Rings? Nope, hate that too.
No.
Okay. Can we watch the Tiger King together?
Is that a real question?
No, because he's in jail. What? They put Rasputin, what's the guy's name? From Tiger King, the lion movie fucking thing.
Rafiki.
Circle of Life.
Rafiki.
Yeah. Did they put Rafiki in jail?
Stop crying like a little girl.
They put Rafiki in jail?
Hold on. You just were snapping at me, asking for a Rafiki reference.
I'm so old that
I'm
I called
so
the Lion
bricked up right
King
now.
the Tiger King.
Bro.
God. Jesus, please answer. I'm alone in the forest. Oh fuck, it's Rafiki. Hi, Rafiki. What's the guy's name? Tiger Joe or whatever?
Hold on. Google.
Joe, isn't his name Tiger
King,
Joe?
Real
Joe or
name. Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic.
Look, Rafiki was hanging out with Joe Exotic. Can we watch a Lion King? Look, There's one way to save our friendship, Monty. If you'll spend
I know what time it is.
just 5 minutes watching The Lion King with me, we can sing the song together.
Nah.
The purpose of life.
Bro, stop. No.
I am proud to say I've never watched The Lion King.
I'm a man.
Oh, Kurt Meyer says late stages of dementia.
Dude.
Did I really just say the Tiger King?
Bro.
The Tiger King. Oh my God.
This is a top tier moment on the show. I'm just saying. Remember this moment, bro.
Oh, the Tiger King. My.
Look at Jeremy.
Hakuna Matata. I'm banging your mama. MJ Bissett, The Purpose of Life. Yeah, the song from the Tiger King.
It's the circle of life, not the purpose of life, bro.
Is it really?
Yes.
Filling in for somebody.
Oh, that's the song I know. I know, Oh, Canada. Shit, is it really the circle of life?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, Tanner. So, Monty, when Jake has kids and they come up to you and they ask you to watch The Lion King, would you do it?
No.
Those deadbeat kids? No.
Stupid ass question.
I'm sure at some point I will have to watch The Lion King. Because I have seen The Tiger King. Admittedly.
Jeremy Callahan's comment right there. Hashtag Tanner the Tiger.
Oh.
Boy, that was a heater.
Oh, I cannot believe I said that. And it's you guys are not messing with. I got to look it up.
Dude, it's the circle of life, dude. It's not in question.
It is this. You're not messing with me.
No, I'm being serious, dude. You really don't know this?
I'm sure I know it.
It's the circle of life. I'm not kidding.
Same thing.
Bro, who the hell is?
Okay, you guys. Holy cow.
Okay, this just updated on Twitter right here.
This tweet reply today. Okay, I've got to step in here.
Dude.
I've got to step in here. This seems like a very, very serious situation in Ukraine.
No smoke.
You guys.
Dude, this is wild, bro.
I've got to help. Yevhenia sent me a tweet saying,
Hey, look here, man.
hey, bro.
Who the fuck are you?
No.
Who the f*** is that guy?
It is 75 years old.
Okay, go ahead.
Help me move with my children to a controlled part of Ukraine. Please donate. I'm an ordinary Ukrainian. I have 3 children. Yeah, I'll send the money right now, sweetheart. I'm on it. I got a call today. So Jake goes out for a few minutes today, and my phone rings. And the guy's like, hey, bro, you're eligible for some COVID funds.
Me?
Do people really fall for this stuff? Am I really going to help you move to a more controlled part of Ukraine?
It vexes me.
I'm sorry for writing you here. You're not, because people probably respond.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
That is absolutely
wow,
ridiculous.
Man.
Okay. Dude, now we can't talk about
No,
Tucker.
now we're not talking about Tucker.
Now
This
we
has been
cannot
too much
talk
fun.
about
This
Tucker.
has been way too much fun to ruin it with Tucker.
Also, yes, Joe Exotic, crazy dude, tried running for governor of
Can
Oklahoma.
you believe that? Can you believe some of these people, though, that try to run for governor? Isn't it wild?
Tucker Carlson is not running for president.
Dude, no.
I'm not a
Monty,
big fan of Fox.
What the hell is in those bucked up shots? If anything, your Gorgu rant segueing into Lion King has convinced me you take a buckshot, you're going to have a good time.
You know. Just trying to help. Just trying to help, you know?
You know, Kurt Peters says she should ask the Nigerian prince. Exactly. Do people really fall for that?
I guess.
I think they do. The Monty Show every single gosh dang day. Presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Utah Advocates, the best injury attorneys in the business. If you've been injured in an accident, do not hesitate. Chat with an attorney live online 24/7, 365. Theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.